guys.
Hey, good evening. How's it
All
going?
right. Hey,
How's
what's
it going,
up?
Mike?
We made it.
Hey,
Hey, Mike. Thanks for joining.
Good seeing you.
hey,
Hey,
what's going on?
Um, we might have to cut this one short. I think Rob can't join, Chris can't join, and I have to leave in 2 hours. I think Felipe also has to leave around that time, so
yeah.
we might just have a couple hours here tonight.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So, yeah, has there been any news, any announcements this week or anything? I feel like I can't think of any.
Hey, Craig.
What? I think Chad did those Atlantic things.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, most Coltrane titles. It was, one that I'm interested in is Coltrane Plays the Blues.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish they did the Ted Curson. What's that one called? It's like something and something blues.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Man, that would have been incredible. But
Yeah.
I realized that they would have sold like 500 of those instead of 5,000. I feel like that's becoming more apparent to me. Is like I was watching Steve Westman's stream earlier, and he was talking about how he was speaking with the folks over at Rhino.
Yeah.
And the television, he said that there's basically like 200 copies left. So if anybody wants to go get that, this is the time to grab it. But he said the Ornette, he said that they've been selling a lot of the Ornette for the jazz title. And he said he qualified that by saying they sold 1,000 of them. So there's still 4,000 available. So it's just an interesting metric because obviously they want to move stuff. And if you're putting out Ornette, I mean, that as much as I love that, and I actually got a copy from Joe Marino because he had an extra copy. But
cool.
I realize there's like the audience, is
Oh yeah,
small.
I mean, I don't know if it's true, but I don't know, like the jazz represents like 4% of the market or something, really, small,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What is this? Mike and Mike did see Burlington Records just picked up a carload of jazz. Oh, interesting.
Where's Burlington Records? Not Burlington, Vermont.
Loki, we're only going to go for a couple hours tonight, I think.
Yeah.
I got to step out, and then I think Chris, is tied up with some family stuff, and then I think Felipe also has to jump too. So we're going to keep it a shorter stream tonight. I have it, and it's excellent. Cool. Yeah, I haven't actually had to listen to it.
What, the Ornette?
Yeah, I think that's what he's referring to.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Yeah,
it's definitely excellent.
Yeah. Wait.
Felipe, did you get it?
The Ornette, it's on the way. I haven't got it
cool.
yet, but yeah.
Nice.
I really got that one. I think it's.
But it had me thinking, like, if they only sold 1,000 of the Ornette, like the first title they picked was the Coltrane. Which Coltrane was it? It was the one where
Sounds of Coltrane.
Yeah,
right.
Coltrane Sounds.
Coltrane
Like,
Sounds.
they probably have a few thousand of that still in stock, or a couple thousand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I probably should get because I don't have a copy of that record, and I'm sure that sounds great.
That's a really good one. Yeah. I have 45 of that one.
Yeah. Hey, Rev.
Yeah, hey, Rev. A release I saw on Instagram a couple of days ago. It's on Bandcamp. It's actually a really cool label. I was checking. It's called, I'm going to link here. It's called Intact Records from Czechoslovakia. They have a lot of cool stuff. It's all digital, of course. It's CDs. But they are putting out the latest James Brandon Lewis quartet. That's Brad Jones.
Oh yeah, I have that.
Yeah. So
what is this? What are they putting out?
It's a label called Intact. They're out of Czechoslovakia, I believe so.
Okay.
They sell through Bandcamp. And if you look at the roster and the titles they put out, it's just amazing stuff there.
Yeah.
Beautiful pictures. Beautiful cover image.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike. Sorry. No, go ahead.
All of the, James Brandon Lewis, he has a quartet. the Molecular Quartet, and all that group's releases are on Intact.
Is this
And yeah, I have all of them.
Yeah, and I
Oh,
think
wow.
only goes to show, right? I mean, if you're interested in exploring jazz, the music, the style, if you stick to yourself to vinyl, you're done. You're really out of the loop, I think.
Yeah, and I have that one too.
Don't tell me that, Felipe.
No, you had to CD, you had to stream or anything. I just
Oh
this
yeah.
week, this week you guys follow. I just put together, made it myself, my Room server. And I'm so happy about it, and it's a really cool.
Oh yeah. What? So tell us what you did with that.
So I mean, Room is a software that manages and basically all your digital output that you have. So whatever speakers or streamer or whatever decks that you have that are Room ready, Room just finds it in your network, organizes it. It's so easy, so smooth thing to do. It just plug and it finds everything, catalogs, organizes, and you can organize your own server too. So they sell a server, but you can put one together yourself, which they explain how to do it. And then you can stream that thing to any device compatible that you have in your house, in your home. It's like tons of brands. Plus, I think the really coolest thing is the Room Arc. So I can use the Room Arc app to stream. Let's say I'm going to go on a trip. I'm on the road. I want to stream from my server. I want to stream from my files, my CDs that I ripped, that are not available or that are higher quality. I can do that myself. And it also manages all your streaming services, Tidal, Cobus, whatever you use. It's going to suck it in there. It's going to index, catalog, liner notes. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful app. And if you're into digital, I think it's almost like mandatory. And the monthly fee is just ridiculous. It's like $15 a month. Yeah.
And you could play that on your main hi-fi rig. Do you have it set up for that?
Yes. I mean, if you have a Room device, a compatible device, yes, you can.
Okay.
And whatever you plug is going to find, is going to index, and you can adjust the sound for headphones, for hi-fi, for bookshelves, or whatever you're doing. Yeah.
Is anyone getting my favorite things from Cakes in the gallery? I have the ERC Bougie.
Ooh, showing off.
I have that. What was that anniversary one that came with the mono and stereo?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a Kevin Gray cut, and I think it's super easy still to find.
Yeah,
in stores.
That was cool.
Yeah,
that was cool because when you get into the Coltrane Atlantic stuff, there's such a following for the mono copies of that, for basically just how pan the recording was. So it's neat that they put out the mono and the stereo together, so you can get them both.
Yeah.
But like that mono, is that essentially just a fold down?
What your favorite thing? 61
or 50?
I could look it up
off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What
It is. Come on, Peanut Gallery, beat me to it. 61. Right, Felipe.
61. So very likely stereo fold down.
Okay. So the thing is, I guess my question with the if you have the stereo disc and you have a mono switch or a mono button, will that sound identical then, or is that fold down process? Is there something built in that is beneficial in some way? Or is it really just summing the two and it is what it is if you do it before it's pressed or after it's pressed?
I mean, I'm not a professional dad. I mean, I might be wrong, but I'd say that if you're doing that in a studio with a much better equipment and actually checking it while you're doing, I think that way you're probably getting a much better thing. Yes.
Yeah, exactly, Rev. George Borden would know that question.
Just like the cart playing at home would be much more efficient than using a switch. which is
Right.
great, but it's not like 100% accurate.
But the cart would behave differently. Like the stereo, I don't know. I'm not qualified enough to speak to this, but I just wonder sometimes, like if I take my like giant step stereo, throw it on my mono switch,
Mhm.
is it, am I good to go?
So what I've been doing, to be honest, I can't change cards that easy. You know that you have the same tone arm design. I just replay it. I don't mind. I have a switch, but I notice if I put my switch in, I get noise.
Yeah.
I get noise on the pad. So I just took it out, and the difference is not that huge. Is bad, is good. I mean, I used to play with mono cards for a long time.
Yeah.
And now, because it's not so easy to switch, I just not switching. Yeah.
Yeah. The hard panning, I don't particularly mind it. Just my system's pretty tight, so like it's not too extreme for me. And then I like mono too. I mean, mono straight ahead. It's a neat way to listen to things.
Yeah.
But I do feel like for larger groups, and I'm this is also some of the classical that I've been listening to influencing me. But definitely like the larger ensembles, I think stereo is preferred for me. Whether it's like Coltrane Ascension or meditations like that, or bigger, like it could be like a Gil Evans, like Miles stuff. Like I think there's like I have the mono of the what's the Sketches of Spain, and I was saying I liked it because like those percussion instruments are not like floating around. They're just like I don't know. They're static almost, and I actually think that it takes away some of the. I think it might be a little cheesy maybe to have it like kind of all around, but also I mean I'm sure it's really cool too.
But yeah.
But yeah.
But that's an orchestra. It's two-dimensional, and Sketches of Spain is pretty much like a bull run, right? So you really want to have like this kind of grandiosity kind of feeling there. I think I think it's pretty fair.
Yeah.
To have. And I think for orchestra that's really important. If you think of a small ensemble, I mean, if you've been to a jazz club, those guys are so crammed together, close. Usually the sound comes pretty, unless you're really close to the stage. I believe. I mean, just my take.
Yeah. But it's a fun topic. But generally, if a record I want comes up and it's mono or stereo, I don't really care. But when it comes to classical, it really is stereo preferred.
Yeah.
Hey, Pat's Radio. Pat's Radio did a remix of 106 with some guitar distortion. I don't know why my camera's like this. Whatever. Oh, God. So, Mike, what's up? Have any new things come in, or any shows or anything going on?
Well, Monday I went to a show with Roberto at the Jazz Gallery.
How was that?
It was great. It was Temec was with Tomas Fujiwara, the seven poets trio. It's Tomas Fujiwara, Patricia Brennan on vibes, and Temeka Reed on cello. And then the second group was the Temeka Reed quartet, which was Temeka Reed, Tomas Fujiwara, Mary Halverson on the guitar, and Jason, I can't pronounce it, Robeck on bass.
Okay.
And that was really good. They just played like 30 minutes each, and it was outstanding. I mean, I've seen the Temeka Reed quartet. I guess this was probably my fourth time. But the Seven Poets trio was really good. Patricia Brennan on vibes I have two of her recordings. One's a solo recording that's really phenomenal. And then the other one that's on vinyl. Then her most recent one is CD only, which is also very good.
Was there a piano player or just vibes?
Just
And
vibes.
strings?
Just
And
vibes.
strings.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that was a really good show. And we were like I mean, like we were right up front near the stage, like right. I could have like reached out and grabbed Macari's cello. That's how close we are. But it was a great show, and I almost went. VJ Ayers playing tonight. He's like doing an Andrew Hill tribute.
Oh wow!
Yes.
But originally all the shows, everything sold out like really quick. And this morning I went on, there was like one seat left, but it was like, and this place isn't that big. Even though I would have been sitting in the last row, it still would have been a great seat. I've been to this place. It's called the Gatehouse. It's on the City College's campus. It's a nice space, but I just didn't feel like, I didn't want to just sit in the middle. So, and I'm still on the wait list for tomorrow night's show.
So is that VJ? Is that solo piano?
No, he's playing with it's not his regular group, but it's a good group of musicians. But I didn't order the ticket because I was just like, I don't know, I just wasn't up for sitting in the middle in between some strangers tonight, But I am still on the waiting list for tomorrow, so I might if it comes up tomorrow, if a ticket opens up, I'm gonna go tomorrow. So that's gonna be cool.
Hey Jack.
Hey,
what's up, man?
Good evening. How you doing? Nice seeing you.
Been gone quite a bit, but
yeah. Very cool.
I lurk when I'm gone. It's like being home and always miss you guys. Mike and Felipe, good to see you.
Good to see you, Jack.
I didn't realize you were such a tech guru, Felipe.
Okay.
I'll have to fly up here to Tennessee to. I'm not the tech guru. I just plug Garcia cables.
I like to play with gear sometimes.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Hey, Jack, you're a trumpet player, right?
Well, I was. I did that for about 23 years. I quit the music business in about 1990.
Okay.
And but that was a lot of stories, and worked in and around New York City. And, I mean, it was a good life for 20 years. So.
Very fun. What are your thoughts on Charlie Shavers?
He kind of bridged the gap with that big band thing, and a lot of those big band guys that tried to play jazz. I lived how I got to play the trumpet. I lived 3 houses away from a gentleman by the name of Pee Wee Irwin, not Herman, Irwin.
Okay.
And Pee Wee was with Dorsey for 10 years and Benny for 10 years. I mean, he was a great player, just a super player. You could see, I mean, just a great player. CBS staff. When I was 13, I was he'd sit me down in the back of the band at the Ed Sullivan Show.
Oh wow!
And Jackie Gleason and Gary Moore, and I mean, Pee Wee was a great player, but he was one of these guys like Shavers that bridged that gap from that big band stuff, which I'm not a big fan of. It's just it's just but some of those, I'm sure they could play. They played great, but they had, they just weren't. I don't know. They just weren't. They weren't Louis, in a way. Nobody was. I don't know. The Shavers, I mean, they're good players. So Bobby Hackett, Billy Butterfield, these type of players, and they were great players. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big fan. Player.
I asked because I recently picked up this jam session. This is on Clef. I think this first one came out on Mercury, and this is a repress. And it has him on trumpet. I'm not too familiar with him, but like the lineup on this is just like
I mean, just great players.
So this came in, and I know this means nothing, but I think it's kind of interesting. It has this sky blue clef label.
Oh wow!
You can see it's one band on each side because it's a jam session.
Yeah.
And, for lack of a better way to kind of provide context to this, it's kind of like Jazz at the Philharmonic went into the studio. So you have like a better studio sound with these players. Charlie Parker's on this.
Mm-hmm.
And this is from, I forgot, like 51 or 52.
Charlie Parker and Charlie Shavers on the same record.
Yeah. And Ben Webster. Holy crap! Let me tell you this lineup. It's. I can't believe this isn't like $1,000 record.
Yeah.
But the reason why I pulled it out, I don't know why my camera is messing up so much, but I pulled it out and I'm like, wow, this is a really heavy record.
Yeah.
So much that I'm like, I'm gonna weigh this. I have like a scale that I use to for like my coffee in the morning, and I put it on. Just guess how much this weighs from 52. This is like
200 grams.
280 grams.
Wow.
It's the heaviest record I've ever held. It's basically like a shellac record, like a 12-inch shellac. But anyway, it's fantastic. Let me tell you who's on this. I highly recommend. Now there are a bunch of these jam session records, and I've been as I've been picking these up, I've been sharing this with Dan the Jazz Shepherd. This is totally his wheelhouse. He's like such a great resource when like talking about Clef and Norman Granz and all this early stuff. And he kind of put me onto these. And you have so Ray Brown's bass, Barney Kessel's guitar, Oscar Peterson's piano, J.C. Hurd. What is J.C. Hurd playing? I don't even know what he's playing on here. It doesn't say.
Bass player, wasn't he?
Is he a bass player? So him and Ray Brown are on this.
Well, maybe he's not.
Well, so then Johnny Hodges, Benny Carter, Flip Phillips, Charlie Shavers, Charlie Parker, and Ben Webster. All playing. And the first side is like a bop side, and the second side is like a ballad side.
How did they get them all in one room?
It's absolutely incredible. And I highly recommend people just go stream it. Now it's 52. Yeah. It doesn't sound like it's from 59, but it sounds really good still. Mm-hmm. And it's great. And so there's like 8 or 9 of these that I'm going to start collecting because they're relatively cheap. I mean, they're not that expensive, and I don't know why I haven't really been exposed to them. But these are just awesome, fun sessions, and they're cool. Just like it says, jam sessions.
It's fun to find things with the groups. I found one. I don't know if you know this record or not. I'm going to do a video on stuff for Chad to reissue next year. These tapes are clean. It's a Verb, Japanese pressing.
Oh, I have some of those. Yeah,
it's the only record I've ever seen with Stan Getz, Coleman Hawkins, and Paul Gonzalez.
Oh, nice!
It's a really unique, group.
Sorry,
Dizzy Gillespie, and it's fun to find those records with unique groups. But boy, I don't think I've ever heard a group with that many.
It's spectacular. It's absolutely spectacular. And I found a clean copy. I think it was like $30 or something. Very well worth the investment. And
wouldn't it have been fun to have a video of that session with all those guys?
I mean, they have some pictures on the back. Let me just make myself big. So you have, this is basically the rhythm section, right, with Barney Kessel. Yeah. And then here are the horns. So somebody said in the comment, Jeff said in the comment that J.C. Hurd plays drums. So you got the rhythm section up here, and then the horn section here with Ben Webster over here. But it's just, there's Parker, and Parker sounds incredible. Like this is a great record just to have a great Charlie Parker sounding record in like a prime time year for him. So, and then the cover's really cool too. But anyway, just
Mike, could you hold that up once more?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I got another volume. The groups change over the years.
What's the Parker side on there? What Parker? What
he's on both sides.
No, I mean what is he? What's the song he's playing?
So they play like it's like medleys. So they play like one long jam session, and then they go through tunes. Let me hold on. Let me pull it up because it doesn't say it on the back.
That's what they did on that Gillespie record I was telling you about. There's a couple of melodies on there. That was quite common.
Okay, so the first side is Jams Blues Part 1. So that's all of A. And then the ballad medley on Part 2, they do a bunch of different things. So they do Dearly Beloved, which is I guess Charlie Parker's the soloist here. Barney Kessel starts it. Ben Webster comes in. Then Johnny Hodges, Oscar P. Like, I mean, it's just absolutely nuts.
Where'd you find that?
I grabbed the copy on Discogs. But yeah, I don't know exactly how it. Yeah, I have like a running conversation with Dan, and this somehow Clef came up, and I started looking at Clef and Norgran and Mercury, trying to get because he's collecting a lot of the early Clef stuff and Norgran. Like it's all kind of the same label when you get that early, and it's just like how Norman Grant's kind of, and he's collecting all that early 10-inch like Johnny Hodges and Illinois Jack Cat and all these guys. I can't think of all the names now, but so then I started kind of setting up my searches on my web browser to start looking for some of that stuff because it's really cool and all that. Like those records sound fantastic. So I wanted to start looking at that, and then somehow I came across this one.
Didn't Mosaic? I think I even have it somewhere. Didn't they put out a box CD set of the Jazz at the Philharmonics or something along those lines?
Yeah. My store here has a few of them. I'm going to check out this weekend.
Yeah, if they're clean, play them in the store, see how they sound. Because this is clean. It sounds really good. I mean, again, it's not 1959. It's 1952. The microphone technology is different. So, but it's still like for that year, I was surprised how great that sounds.
Wow.
On my new setup, I have a fancy new audiophile setup.
Did you upgrade your gear, Mike?
Yes. I'm calling my system the punches above its weight class gear system. Because if you look at all like everything I have, if you read any of the reviews, every single thing I have, that's like the consensus. It's like the turntable I got is the Riga P6. It is for its price point, it punches above its weight class. The phono preamp I have is a iFi Zen. Punches and it just goes down the component pieces, and so I feel like it's good. From what I had, I can't put it. I'm still listening and analyzing. I think it sounds much better than what I had. I think I was also, especially with the turntable and this new cartridge, I think my expectations were even higher that it was going to be like transformative in a way. But it's not like it's a 70% change from what I had, but it's bigger than just some small margin. But it's good, and I'm really happy with everything. It seems like everything works pretty well together.
Just don't get crazy and start listening to the equipment instead of the music.
Yeah, no, I think especially in gear. I mean, sometimes we don't notice difference immediately. First, because break in. And second, most important, if you hook up back again your old gear, then you can tell, wow, that's transformative. I think that especially if you're like, let's say in my case, when I swap tubes, immediately I don't realize the difference. But if I go back to my old tubes, that's huge difference, big leap. Yeah.
That's probably true with me too. It's just a pain for me to set up my old system. Yeah. So I'm not going to do that, but that would probably be true with me too.
Yeah, wait till you get to be 100 years old like me, and you can't hear over 10,000 hertz anyhow.
Well, that starts in the 20s, so you're all together on this.
Yeah, but there's overtones. Tennessee Jack? Even though you can't hear, the overtones do resonate. somewhat.
I don't want to get in there, but like neuroscientifically speaking, our eyes they hear sounds, our skin hears sounds. So I'm going to stop there. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Yeah. They transduce. Yes, there's transduce. But
Felipe, when I teach photography, I teach how people see and place things. And there's been crazy neurological things of testing with thousands of people, and people think we like to see things on the right because we read from left to right, and we don't. We know about 10% of what we need to know about.
Yes, I mean, just as a species and everything, we cannot like see and hear everything accurately. So most of what we hear or see or perceive is actually our brains kind of putting together a scenario. It's like a very controlled illusion, pretty much.
That's why people say, "You see what I'm saying."
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that's why some people say the sound is bright, the sound is muddy. It comes from there. It's unconscious, but that's kind of where it comes from.
That's the biggest challenge I have, is describing like how like a jazz record sounds. I feel like I just fall into the stuff that has just been like said over and over. I like that's like basically what I use as like references, like muddy. Like I've used that before, and bright, of course. I mean, always I use bright, but it's just hard to translate it. And one thing I wish I could do on the stream is just, instead of like saying like outside of it sounds like very good, just play it for everybody. I wish I could do that.
But it comes from regulars. Let's say just on the bright thing, we have photoreceptor cells in our retinas that they don't detect light, but they bounce to sound.
What do you guys think about these guys on YouTube that like play gear? To listen to this gear, and you're listening to it on YouTube, which is highly compressed,
right,
and then a computer speaker. I mean, what are they trying to do? That's crazy.
I mean, some people are serious, some are not. I think it depends on the approach and how they do it. In everything, just as we always see, like doing this record shootouts, for example, it's hard. You have to trust someone's word. You have to kind of understand where they're coming from, and everything is comparative, right? We always work by comparison. We cannot just explain something out of the blue if there's nothing to compare to, right? So so this is pretty much how I work, by comparison, by experience, by some of that, and reliability also. I think someone has a track record to express it in a good way, you're going to appreciate and kind of trust, be more like. Exactly, Jeff. It's totally emotional. It's totally emotional. Absolutely.
When I was a kid, and I'm sure you guys might even remember this, Downbeat magazine could make or break a record.
Yeah.
And you have some guy talking about a record, and it's 5 stars or 2, and it can make or break that record. It's really an opinion in a way. It's kind of not fair.
Well, you couldn't go online and sample anything. So
exactly.
The internet's going to be big, guys. Get in on it now.
Yeah. No, definitely. So, okay. So last week I went to my shop on Saturday, not Friday. So I got a couple of things which I thought they were pretty cool. Some I posted, some I didn't. So this is a release on this Spanish label called Vampiso. They reissue a lot of obscure and hard to find South American, Brazilian records, and African stuff as well. And those records are really well done. These are hard to find originals. And this is, to me, I mean, I'm from Brazil. I didn't know about this band from Argentina. And this record is called Quintuplas. It's like a free jazz avant-garde. This is a 1972 release, and it's a double. Has the original studio recording and a live session as well. They even play like "Ode to Billy Joe" here, but it's all original compositions. This record kicks ass. I was surprised. I dropped the needle at the store. I played for like couple minutes, and that was it. I was sold on this record. This is really, really good. The CD is currently available. If you want to get a vinyl copy, you have to go to Discogs. But either way you get it, it's really worth it.
Hmm.
And I've been discovering like South American music through them. And hold on, that I found. This is amazing too. This came. It's a recent reissue. I think it's on Soul Jazz. Actually, it's a 2021. This record is killer. The Washington Suite
Oh, yeah.
by the Lloyd McNeil Quartet. This record is also really hard to find and original and in a good condition. So this reissue here on Soul Jazz, kick-ass. And Soul Jazz, they put really, really great comps and books out of the UK. Highly recommend. It's a beautiful red record.
Mhm.
Plays amazing. Really good free jazz here. Amazing. Highly recommend.
Fantastic album. Yeah.
And the third one, I got this OG here. Is
Woo!
yeah.
Mhm.
The Sam Records is good, but this record's like 10 times better.
Mhm.
Right. So it's two sessions, side A and side B.
Mm.
So side A, so pretty much they change piano and bass for both sessions. On side A, you have Sahib, Phil Woods, Benny Golson, Hank Jones, Paul Chambers, and Art Taylor. And on side B, Hank Jones is replaced by Bill Evans and Paul Chambers by Oscar Pettiford. It's hard to tell which side is better. And they're all, almost every song is by Sahib Shihab.
Very nice.
So
That was clean.
this record, oh yeah, it plays perfect.
Who was the flute player on Washington Suite?
I'm watching. Let me pull it up for you. Just 1 second.
Because the name escapes me.
Yeah. So Lloyd McNeil, of course.
Marshall.
Yes, exactly. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we can go over some other new releases if you guys want to talk about, or we can hold for a little later.
Yeah, I just wanted to. I'll show.
Yeah. Go
three
for it,
things.
Mike. Yeah.
I had ordered a bunch of stuff from Acoustic Sounds, and then I'm going through. I found a couple of things that were on sale, and one of the things that was on sale was something that I've been streaming for years, and I keep saying I was going to buy. It's this record by Marquise Hill.
Oh, I have that.
It's New Gospel Revisited. And it has a killer lineup, and it's only $14 on
Oh,
Acoustic
damn.
Sounds. And it's
Wow.
a 2 LP release.
Where
So-
I'm sorry, where's the $14?
Acoustic Sounds.
Oh,
Mhm.
fantastic.
So I picked that up, and then I picked up this.
And that has, can you just go through the players on that? Because isn't
yeah.
it like each track is like a different soloist or something like that?
Yeah, it's like Walter Smith, Kendrick Scott who plays drums. Walter Smith is tenor player. Joel Ross on vibes, and Harish Raghavan on bass. James Francis on piano, and each something on most of the songs. It's a feature for a particular musician.
Right.
But yeah, it was you might as well say rounded up to $15 for 2 LPs. So that was I was glad to find that. And then I picked up this solo piano, Earl Hines, a tribute to Louis Armstrong. This was reissued on Org in 2018. And it was recorded, I believe, shortly after Armstrong passed. Hines went into the studio and recorded, all the songs, songs associated with Armstrong. And I haven't listened to this yet, but
That's a good label. That's
yeah.
a good label.
And then recently, I had picked up there's this trio of Steve Cardenas on guitar, Ben Allison on drums, and Ted Nash on alto,
Good player.
clarinet, and clarinet, and alto, soprano, and clarinet. And I have one of their releases on Nouvelle, but this one is on, I believe it's Ben Allison's own label called Healing Power, the music of Carla Bley. So they're doing all Carla Bley songs, compositions. This is so good. I like this better than their other release that I have that I showed on Rob's stream. And this is available on Ben Allison's website. With shipping, it came up a total of $24.
That's great.
So, yeah,
Stephen says Ben Allison is very underrated.
yeah, he's been around for years. He used to perform in a group. I believe that was done by the late pianist Frank Kimbrough with the Herbie Nichols project. And they were one of the first groups in recent memory to feature, pay tribute to the music of Herbie Nichols. So, but this is really good. I've played it like 3 times since I got it this week. And I mean, I guess Ben Allison lives in New York, because I got it in maybe 3-4 days. So,
Oh wow, that's fast.
Cool.
yeah,
Very
and that's
cool.
just, and I picked up some other stuff. I got this AP, The Soul of Ben Webster,
Oh, right.
and then I got also this
That's
Duke
a
Ellington,
great
Johnny
record.
Hodges.
Great record.
There's a
Uh,
copy of that at my local for not that it's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Get it.
I
Just
should
get
probably
it.
grab it. Yeah.
That's
And
cool.
then one more thing. I thought I didn't show this. I was meant to show it last week, but this is something I've been looking for, and it's not hard to find, but once in a while, sometimes it's not available.
Right.
It's Brad Meldau and Joshua Redman. These are all from a series of performances in Europe, Netherlands, Germany, Spain, just the 2 of them, and it's really good. Actually, the best. They do a lot of standards. They do Our Anthology, The Nearness of You, but my 2 favorite performances are from 2 compositions, one by Meldau and one by Redman. That's really good, and it's 2 LPs, and usually it's about 2 songs on each side, except for C and D. It's just one song each, but it's really an excellent performance. So
2 great players.
yeah,
There's a question that Ben Webster, is that an AP 45?
yes, that is the 45.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, can I ask you a Ben Webster question?
If I can answer, sure, yeah.
So I found this. This is on Black Lion. I think it was a record store day from a couple of years ago. Anybody know anything about this?
Do
Uh,
I have that? I don't know.
I haven't played it yet. I just picked it up the other day in Indianapolis.
it's probably a reissue of something. I mean, it is a reissue.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, but
Is that who put that out? I know that
Yeah,
like
that's a reissue.
Black Lion, but it's
So,
on white.
Yes, Black Lion.
On white vinyl.
okay.
No, I'll play it tonight and see. It's got a UPC code, so it's fairly new.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
But Ben is great,
Yeah.
So
I did want- oh, sorry.
one more question.
Yeah.
Anybody know anything about this one? I
Hell
have an
yeah.
old-
That's great.
Oh, yeah.
I love
Yeah,
that.
man, that's
Oh,
killer.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
This was pressed by Rainbow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I've had experiences with Rainbow pressings.
Yeah.
Some are good, some are not centered right and not right. So $18, I guess that was a fair price for that. This is going to be what I listen to tomorrow. So
Cool. Let us know how that is.
that's a good record then, huh?
Definitely. Yeah.
Definitely good music. Excellent music.
And those new jazz originals of like the big names, they're just hundreds of dollars. They're just impossible to get.
I see Booker Urban and I don't have it. I pick it up. By the way, Mike,
did you get the Tone Poet?
This is how you know. This is how you know that you probably can't see that too well.
What do we got?
That's a reissue of your record that you just showed.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 57. I own it. I looked.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, I said I'll go buy that, and I already have it. So.
Go check it out. Pull that out when you can. Excellent. Yeah. They reissued those multiple times throughout like the labels, and I think Verve like put them out like whenever. But
yeah, it's like 5 or 6, I think.
I did want to say what's up to Frederick. Frederick, I think you might be. Is this your first time on the stream, or did I may have not been on if you've come on?
Yeah, it's my first time on the stream. Yeah, on the stream.
Cool.
Stream. Oh my god, it's almost it's 2:45 at night, so I'm a bit tired.
So where are you located?
I'm in Belgium, actually, in Europe. So
okay, cool.
Where about in Belgium?
In near Hasselt. It's near the German border, actually.
Okay.
But you know, Belgium is small, so everything is near Brussels, right? So it's very small. Yeah. But I've been watching your streams quite a few times already, and checked out the Instagram accounts and stuff like that. So
awesome.
yeah.
Thanks for joining. Thank you.
I might. No problem.
A blanket apology for everything.
You're the best.
Well, I've talked with Rob and Mazzy on other streams, so no apologies needed. I'm used to the kind of stuff that's going on around here, so I know what's going on. Yeah. But I also bought some jazz stuff this week, and I thought I might hop in just
Let's get
go over that.
Yeah, absolutely.
No surprise here. You all know this one, probably.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the J Jazz.
That's the J Jazz. I didn't know it was in the J Jazz series, actually. But yeah, so I got this because Rob couldn't stop talking about it. So I thought, well, why the hell not? I'm going to check it out. And it's really good. I listened to it last night. It's great. I also picked up this one. This was originally released on Blue Note, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like this one.
That's on the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
that's
now on a label that I've been following for the last couple of years, who do hip hop and other jazz stuff as well. So, and it was on my want list because the Blue Note one goes for what, like $300 or something, or
even more.
I don't know.
I think not even the CD is cheap.
And even when it was put out by Blue Note, was it part of the 75th anniversary series?
Yes.
I think, yeah. And anyway, it's like $400 records.
And the chances are it's not going to be good.
Hold on. We have a troublemaker.
I disparage you saying you're used to Rob and Mazzy. So I'm driving. I can't talk right now, but I'm listening to this wonderful jazz music as I cross
drive off the road
Island into Seattle. I love you, baby. Don't ever change. I'll see you guys. I'll listen. Bye.
We're good.
Yeah, well, that was really crazy. That was very meta. Yeah. Anyway, back to the music, right? Oh my god, those Belgians are crazy. I bought this one as well. This is a young pianist, Austin Peralta.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
This was released in 2011, and he actually died the year after from pneumonia, I think, in combination with some drugs and alcohol, apparently. I don't know. Don't quote me on it if I'm wrong. But so he only had a couple of albums, I think one CD before this. And this CD came out on Flying Lotus's label, Brain Feeder. The Flying Lotus, the cousin of Alice Coltrane, who makes hip-hop and bass. And surprisingly, they put out a jazz album before the Kamasi Washington LP and stuff like that. It's kind of experimental. It's very modern, if you like. I know you show a lot of old school Blue Note and Prestige and Impulse records, but it's really, I think it's interesting. It's a very, and it's a beautiful release. It's got this embossed detail, and it's on double vinyl with an extra live session. So cool. I like this. Yeah, I think this is a good album, I think. It's a piano with, some couple of other musicians. It's not solo piano. Saxophone, bass, drums, electronics. So yeah, I recommend this one. This is nice.
Cool.
And
Check it out.
Awesome.
what else did I get? I think Felipe showed this as well. The Tony Scott album.
Oh yeah, the Tony Scott. This is good. So good. This is so good.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. I really like. I've only got to know John Hassel over the last couple of years, and it's a bit in the same vein, with this African percussion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I got to know it on a Stunty stream, and he played 2 copies together, and the second copy was just 1 or 2 seconds behind, and it had this really dubby effect. So
Yeah.
I got that at home, but it's still very enjoyable. So I like this a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Tony Scott has a good run of these more exploratory albums. There's the Janger Bali, which is on the MPS AAA series.
Yeah, that's been
It's
on my
really
watch list for
cheap,
years.
cheap to get and a great record, current, really well done. Highly recommend that one as well.
Yeah,
but it's a different sound from this one, especially when the Balinese players start. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, Stunty was playing this, and while he was playing it live on the stream, I ordered it on Discogs because it was like €5 or something. So
Oh wow.
Yeah, that one's really cheap. I pay like
it's not expensive at all. No.
Cool.
It's cool.
Ooh, Diamond Marimba's here.
You know that is, right?
Yeah, it's a
okay.
rebrand. I love it.
And I'm just, if I may show just one more for now.
Sure.
Something I didn't buy it this week, but I saw it that it got a reissue, and I bought this like a couple of years ago. I think it was like €5 or €10 or something, and apparently they reissued it. And it's Michel Colombier, who is a French movie composer, and he's also a keyboardist. And I bought it at the time. I didn't have the opportunity to listen to it when I bought it. It has Michael Boddicker, Michael Brecker, Steve Gadd, Herbie Hancock, Jerry Knight, Ayrton Moreira, Ray Parker Jr., Lee Ritenour, and Jaco Pastorius on it.
Wow.
Yeah, and they reissued it now. I saw it in a store. It's called MediaMarkt. I think it's something like you have a Walmart. So like, but the Brussels store actually has a very good vinyl selection, because a lot of guys work there that they came from the record stores that closed down after the whole MP3 thing with the Napster and stuff like that. A lot of record stores closed, and they went to work in the MediaMarkt in Brussels. So they still have a great vinyl collection, and this is now reissued. I don't know. You can find this on Discogs for for like €5 or €10 still. I think I'm not sure in America.
You're saying that Mart put that out?
No. It's reissued by I don't know which label reissued it. This is on Chrysalis, so it's a big label.
Oh yeah,
Probably.
yeah.
Probably owned by.
MediaMarkt, Mike, is a retailer. They're a retail store.
Yeah, it's
Quite a good one.
And this is from 1979, so it's of its time. It's really very funky fusion. So this is good. It's not all the tracks have stand the test of time, but this got reissued. Very surprising, because on I think on Discogs it's still quite cheap. So
That's nice.
I was surprised to see it. Michel Colombier.
Frederick, I'm gonna link to your YouTube channel if anybody wants to sub up. It looks like you have a couple videos. You just started like a month ago. 2 videos.
And the
So
funny
anyway,
thing
but yeah, I mean, sub up everybody.
Sure.
the funny thing is that I uploaded the video like 12 hours ago, and it's still processing from what, standard to HD. So it's crazy.
know.
I talk too much in my videos, and my videos are like 20 minutes long. So maybe it's that, maybe it will be online tomorrow or whatever. So yeah.
Welcome to the club, to get those comments that the videos are too long.
Yeah. Yeah, my partner doesn't watch them because they're too boring, I hear. So yeah. But friend vinyl collectors say they're good. So I think it's somewhere in the middle, right?
So we're gonna go for a change. Record reviews are going to TikTok now. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's
Yeah,
just,
that's good. Yeah, no.
I just want to go back to something Paul Breakfast King said earlier, mentioned earlier in a comment about Henry Bandcamp. They have the Henry Threadgill like T-shirts and hoodies that they're selling now.
Very cool.
And actually, I actually bought a T-shirt and the hoodie because the photograph on there, and I think on both T-shirts, the photographs were done by they're taken from photographs done by Anthony Barboza, who's actually a well-known photographer.
Mm-hmm.
So and he's done a few album covers out there.
So this air one is really cool. And then there's go too far, and then I guess this is that one you were talking about.
Yeah, it's a T-shirt and a hoodie. Yeah,
cool. I'll drop a link if anybody wants to check it out. I like that air one. That's really cool.
The person looks a bit like Nazi, no, in a small picture, no?
Hey, Joe.
How's it going, Joe? Hey.
Frederick, did you have anything else to show?
I did have something to show that I bought, and I showed it on Rob's stream Tuesday.
Okay.
And he didn't know it. So maybe have you guys heard of Nick Walters?
I don't think so.
He's the UK trumpet player.
Okay.
And he has released a couple of albums already, and he's also in a few bands, which I can talk about for another 30 minutes. But but this is very good. I like this a lot. So he's a trumpet player from the UK, and this is with what's on there as instruments. Well, it's a full band: piano, bass, drums, and percussion.
Cool.
And Tenderlonius is actually a guy I buy almost everything that he releases, because if you buy a 12-inch from him, you're going to get a very good house 12-inch. And he makes fantastic jazz albums. So he plays flute and saxophone on here. He has played with Yusuf Days, with Kamal. What's the other guy from Yusuf Kamal? With a lot of bands. And this is good. This is, who's the other trumpet player from the UK right now? Matthew Halsall is more relaxed and more maybe more spiritual. But these guys lay down the grooves. This is very funky jazz, but it's very diverse album. Again, it's 5 tracks. Maybe you can check it out.
That's cool. Good to know.
Very cool. Very nice. What label's that on?
It's on his own. I think it's his own label, Dot.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Miss his name from the past.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Jack, you got to
cool.
check that out.
Yeah. It's amazing how many great players there are that, we're all listening to, the Lee Morgans of the world. And man, here's guys playing so good that they need to be heard,
Yeah, but this Nick Walters is a great trumpet player, and the guy that I showed, Tenderlonius, is fantastic. I saw him live already a couple of times. Fantastic saxophone and flute player. I have. If you want, I can show some of the records that they played on. If you have the time, I don't know.
Let's do it.
Yep.
And also, do you go to see live musicians often?
If I go to a lot of live gigs,
yeah,
we have great venues here in Belgium. Like I said, Belgium is a small country, and most artists, when they go on European tour, they come to Belgium as well. If it's not in Brussels, it's Antwerp or Leuven or Liège. So everything, we have a couple of jazz festivals that are really good actually as well.
Yeah.
So it's a good place to go see shows. And I live, it's also not so far from, I live like an hour and 15 minutes drive from Düsseldorf. Or if I take the train, the Eurostar train to Paris, it's only like 2 hours. So, sometimes I think it was the year after COVID, I saw like 5 concerts, and they were all not in Belgium. They were, just across the border in Holland, or just across the border in Germany or in Paris. So I travel around a bit. Yeah.
Very
so
cool.
yeah, Belgium is cool. It's not only waffles and chocolate and beer. It's just it's live for live music.
and French fries with mayonnaise.
And the actual
Ooh.
inventors are French fries, right?
I love Belgian French fries. There's
Yeah,
a there's a place
That's what I
There's a-
feared. Yeah, that's what I feared.
there's a restaurant in Greenwich Village that only makes Belgian French fries, and you can get all different types of sauces with them, and it's like my favorite place.
Okay.
Frederick, did they still do that big beer festival at the Grand Place in Belgium?
Oh, we have
Once a
beer
year,
all
big
around.
beer.
Yeah, there are quite a few beer festivals. Yeah, and a lot
I
of little.
was there one time, and there was a whole booth of monks that brewed this beer.
Yeah, I think they do it once a year. Yeah.
You know, like real monks, not Thelonious monks. And they had this great beer. It was amazing.
But maybe I can say something about that trumpet player, Nick Walters.
Yes.
This is the New York restaurant, Pomfrey's.
Oh yeah, they've been there forever.
They are so good. Oh my god! And
Yeah.
anyway, not to distract everybody, but
That
Thank
looks
Thank you, Mike. Now I'm hungry.
No worries, Mike. It's 2:00 in the morning here, or 3:00 almost. I'm not distracted from
Of course.
But just to make things clear, I had a late shift, so I only came home at about midnight, like 2 hours ago. So it's not that I stayed up 6 hours.
And you'll feel it about noon tomorrow.
I love you guys, but not that much, you know. Nick Walters, he released a couple of albums, but he is actually in a group, also Ruby Rushton. And I just listened to this the other day, and this is him, by the way.
Okay.
This is Walters. This is Tenderlonius, the other guy I was talking about. And this beautiful album. This is straight up jazz and great artwork. And this is on the 22A label. It's a label from the UK. And they do all the releases for Ruby Rushton and Tenderlonius. So this is
Nice.
I can highly recommend this one. I think it's still available as well. This is highly recommended. It's modern jazz.
I like that Requiem for Komita. That's Komita, the Polish jazz player, right?
It is, yeah, it is.
Very cool.
If anybody wants to stream Nick Walters, he's Cubo's has.
Yeah, he's on.
Yep.
But it's very weird that his new release is only on Apple Music. It's all singles, so all the music in separate tracks, not as an album. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Good to know.
but I actually got to know Ruby Rushton. This band, I got to know him through their first kind of EP, and drummer on there, you may know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yusef Days, who released what's the title of his album last year? Black Classical.
Black classical.
Yeah.
So he's on there, and this sounds like guys in a garage making jazz. So it sounds almost like a demo, but it's okay. You know, it's good. But this is the one to go after. This is really good.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna say a few things about the flute and saxophone player, Tenderlonius. His real name is I have to check. Ed Cawthorne. It's written like this. You see that on top?
Yep.
And he, one of the beautiful things that he put out is this Tender Plays Stubby.
Okay. Oh, nice.
And this is a tribute to Tubby Hayes.
Yep.
Nice.
And apparently he was in contact with the widow of Tubby Hayes, and she had like a box with records and tapes and stuff like that, and also the piccolo. Is that the way you pronounce it?
Yeah.
An instrument?
Yeah.
And he actually plays that piccolo on this record. So
All
this
right.
is cool photography there.
Very
This is beautiful. It has the track list is Down in the Village, and what are the others? Turntable, Raga, and In the Night. I think this is also still readily available It's on the what's the label? Where are you? I'm not used to this, you know.
Yeah. Jazz Detective. Oh, right.
That's the label.
I don't really have any Tubby Hayes. There is a Riverside one I'd like to get, but I've heard you actually want to get his UK recorded stuff that actually when he came to the US, I guess his style changed or maybe opportunities changed, and that his UK stuff is really the stuff to go for.
Yeah,
I think it's
I
pretty
don't think
expensive.
I have any of his albums. Maybe some. I think I have a couple of tracks on a compilation that Giles Peterson did, but I definitely have to look.
Yep.
Yeah. Just two more things, quick.
Okay.
The last album that Tenderlonius put out is "You Know I Care."
Okay.
It is as a quartet, and it's actually a covers album. It has "On the Nile" by Charles Tolliver. My Moon, or how do you pronounce it? I don't know. That's the second track.
Where's that? Oh, I don't know.
Mm.
Mimon?
Stanley
Mimon?
Powell.
From Cowell, Infant Eyes from Rain Shorter, Poor Eric, then John Coltrane from that Strata East. How's that? The Clifford Jordan Quartet on Strata East.
Okay.
They do that. Yeah. You Know I Care by Duke Pearson. So this is cool. Straight up
That
jazz
is
from
cool.
England. Yeah. Like I said, if you buy his 12 inches, you're gonna get a great house 12-inch. But his albums are pure jazz. It's very funny. You know, he makes cool electronic music as well. But this was actually his main album from 2000 and I don't know what year was this. It's not Martin here. Tenderlonius and 22A Orchestra. So 22A is his label, and I like this one as well. Some spiritual jazz, and the lineup. There's also Yusuf Days is also drumming on it. There you go.
Hey now.
Yeah. There's
Pretty
Yusuf Days. Yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
This is these guys do great things, and they're not very well known. I think, especially not in the UK or in the USA. Sorry. So I think all of these are still available to buy. So on Bandcamp.
Felipe will have all of them in 2 weeks.
Well, check them out first. You know, it's just my review. I think it's excellent. It's excellent.
I'm out of cubes. I gotta make a plan.
Yeah. So that label.
I know what your plan. I know what your plan is, but I'm not going to say it.
So that label is 22A is his label. They're on Bandcamp.
Nice.
I don't think if they have a distributor in the USA. I don't know.
Okay.
So
Felipe has a source.
We'll figure something.
yeah, but especially this is quite special, and it
Nice.
wasn't a limited. So yeah,
That's
where he
cool.
plays W. Hayes tracks. That's cool.
I'm gonna check I'll check all those out as long as I can stream them. I'll give them all a listen. Very good.
Probably, yeah. All the Tenderlonius and Nick Walters albums are on Apple Music and other streaming. But the Nick Walters albums, the trumpet player they are all very different. Like that new one is very kind of groovy. There is one with a lot of spaces, sounds, and a bit electronic. So sample them first, or check them, or stream them, and you'll see. Definitely look for something that you like. Yeah.
Cool. Well, that was a killer showing, Frederick. Thank you. We have Joe here. Joe's been patiently waiting. What's up, Joe?
Hi, Joe.
How are you guys?
How's it going, Joe?
What's up?
Joe, you have new avant-garde pickups to show, I hope?
I do.
Excellent.
Yeah. Someone's
All
got to
right.
carry that torch on this.
Hell yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah. Cool.
I've
Bring it on.
got a few things. I have one thing that I won't have till next week that I
Okay.
bought that I've been looking for a while. So if I'm available for the stream next week, I'll show that. But a few things. This one popped up on Discogs. It's been in my radar for a bit, but I kind of went back and forth. I was hoping to find it in the store, and I never did. And then about a week and a half ago, a copy showed up on Discogs in the US, and it was like $23. Won't be a stream without showing Peter Brotzman. So this one is 50 years later, or 50 years after. This has Brotzman, Schlippenbach, and Han Benek, who played together. This one is actually a kind of almost like tribute to some of the musicians that were on Machine Gun in 1968. So this one was a recording in Bremen, Germany from 2018. So you've got the trio, Brotzman's on tenor sax, B-flat clarinet, Terregato, Alex von Schlippenbach piano, and Han Benek is on the drums. But yeah, this is from 2018. Came out on the it's gonna be hard to show, but the Trost label out of Austria in 2019.
Huh.
This is still available on Bandcamp, but there's a distributor, or not a distributor. There's a seller that I think has like multiple copies here in the U.S. that's on Discogs. It's like $23. The guy shipped it the same day. I ordered it like midday, and the guy shipped it that same day. So it was real quick shipping. So this one's another one to add to the kind of Peter Brotzman collection.
Now hold on, you said that's a tribute to Machine Gun, so can we expect some pretty radical, wild?
Yeah, I would assume. Yeah, I haven't listened to that one yet. I just got it earlier in the week, so I didn't get a chance to spin it yet. But yeah, I'm assuming it's probably going to be pretty heavy. So
Wild.
and it streaming. I think you can listen to it on. I mean, I usually listen to stuff on YouTube because I don't have like Spotify or anything like that. So I usually just listen on YouTube, but it's I'm pretty sure you can listen to it there. And it was very Brotzman heavy. So that's kind of your thing. It's definitely him. And I've noticed a lot of sessions that have Alex von Schlippenbach on the piano. He seems to take more of a back seat on a lot of his sessions, even if it's albums that he's the leader on. He worked a lot with Evan Parker in the 70s as part of the kind of Schlippenbach trio, and he seemed to really, again, not really take a back seat, but he was very open to letting the other musicians have a lot more solo time than I think he did. So this one is actually a VCLT from Rob. We'd kind of worked out a deal. I sent him a record back in December. He sent me the it was Peter Brotzman and his son Casper Brotzman. I can't remember what the name of the album is, but he sent me a test pressing of that, and it was really clean. But when I played it, I don't know if the vinyl wasn't good or if the source wasn't, whatever it happened to be. It didn't sound great. And I kind of just told Rob about the fact that I was like, I don't expect you to send my record back. I just appreciate having, because I already had, I think it's called Last Home. I had a copy of it that I found over the summer. So I had one. It was just kind of me being a big Peter Brotzman fan. That was just kind of a cool piece to have. So the fact that it didn't really work out and I didn't pay for it, I just had to kind of send Rob a record I wasn't kind of playing anymore. It was a good deal for me, but I think he felt bad. He was always looking for an opportunity to send me something else. And probably early January, there was a video that Ken McAuliffe put out on his channel that was, I don't know if it was just recent stuff that he had found or something. And this album was one that he showed, Trans Sax Drum. It's a duo of Alex Foster on sax and John Lewis on the drums. Not as familiar with Alex Foster, but John Lewis has a Strata East session.
Okay.
I can't think of the name of it.
I'll look it up. John Lewis?
I think it's like something Twins, or I can't think of the name of it, but it's like a duo record of, I think it's just piano.
Oh,
drum.
yeah. Cosmic Twins with Ron Burton and John Lewis.
Yeah. So this is just,
it's pretty cheap. It goes for $600.
And there was, so this one on Discogs, there's only this pressing, the 77, but there was a recent pressing that was through this other label, and Rob actually ordered 2 copies of it. He ordered one for me and one for him, and I think it ended up being just like a scam site type thing where they like, I don't know. I mean, last I talked to Rob, it didn't sound like They had even shipped it. There had been any word. I don't know if he just kind of gave up. I don't know where he found this. He just kind of told me, "I'm sending you something." I had no idea what it was, but was really happy to kind of have this. It's not an expensive album. It's only like $25, but it is a tough one. There's no copies in the U.S. I think there's a few, 2 or 3 copies in Europe, but this is just a duo. There's only one track. It's actually the first track that's a taste of Elvin a taste for Elvin Jones. That's the only track that's available on YouTube.
Okay.
And it's what I heard from that. It was kind of like post-bop, modal. It's not really free, but it's a little bit more. It's kind of like Billy Harper's stuff in like the late 70s that he did, where it's pushing it a bit more. But I'm really excited to check this one out. It's another one, again, I just got earlier this week. So that was a big one. And then the big one for the week, I actually just got this in the mail today. I had ordered a record from the same seller out of out of Japan on Discogs. Started kind of collecting this label ICP.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
cool.
So Instant Composers Pool. This is the second release. So I have the first one that featured Willem Brucker and Han Benek. And this one is a trio of Han Benek drums, Misha Mingelberg piano, and John Shakai is on the alto sax.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
this is a big one. Tough one to find. I definitely paid a bit for it, but it wasn't. None of these are really extremely expensive, but goes kind of toe to toe with FMP. This is the kind of Dutch label ICP that started with again.
How many? You know how many releases ICP has had? Are they still around? What's the deal with the label?
I don't know if
I'm
they're
not
still.
too-
I
I'm
don't
not
think
familiar
they're
with
still
them.
around.
Okay.
They have probably. I'm not even going to actually guess. I don't know how many. How many they got, but they have a decent amount. The label started a little earlier than FMP and like Incus out of the UK, the Evan Parker's label. I would say it's a pretty decent
Cool.
catalog, but a lot of them, there's not a lot of information about like, there's quite a few records that I've seen that have 4 or 5 different pressings. And there doesn't seem to be like a consensus as to like when the labels, like what years went with what labels. So there could be a record that came out like in the late 60s and there's a pressing that's on like, it's like white background with red lettering. And then there'll be another one where it's like a red background with white lettering. And that one will be 10 years later, or that's at least what it's shown on Discogs. So I don't really know a whole lot.
Cool.
Yeah,
I gotta
and
check
as
those out.
Nicole said, ICP. There's
Oh,
actually an album that I found recently. I didn't end up buying because it wasn't really for me, but there's a record that's from the late 70s. It's called ICP Orchestra, and it's got a picture of like this kind of gentleman that's conducting, and the label itself and kind of the group started in the late 60s. Again, it was most of the albums had Misha Mingelberg and Han Benek. There's quite a few that had Willem Brucker on the saxophone. Some of them have like Peter Brotzman, Han Benek's brother, Peter Benek, who's not on a lot of sessions, but is on a few of those ICPs. And then I think by like the mid to late 70s, a lot of these musicians wanted to kind of do their own thing. They didn't want to be tied to the group. And so Han Benek and Michel Mingelberg kind of took the group. And there's an album that was released in Italy in the late 70s. That was the one I just mentioned, the ICP Orchestra. There's some that are, I think, in other parts of Europe. But it's an interesting label that, again, kind of goes toe-to-toe with FMP out of Germany and Incus out of the UK. So
that's really cool, Joe.
so.
I think I have I'm sorry, his name is Misha Mingelberg.
Yeah, Misha Mengelberg. Yep.
What does he play?
He plays the piano.
Piano. Okay, all right.
Yep.
It must be
Yeah.
someone else. I recently got a John Takai on. It's FMP, but it's an SAJ release, and I don't think he's on. Let me
Is
see
that
if I
the
can find
solo
it.
one, John Takai solo?
Yeah, and he's on the. Is he on the last track of that?
No, that's Albert Mangelsdorf. He's on the
Okay, all
trombone.
right. I'm getting
yeah.
my German last
Yeah.
name mixed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Joe.
Yeah. And actually, Misha Mengelberg I believe he's actually Dutch. So most of those guys are, because Han Benek is Dutch too. He's not German, even though he had such a strong affiliation with Brotzman. So
Okay.
but yeah, yep.
And Joe, I had a question about SAJ.
Yeah.
That was produced by I forget the gentleman's name now.
Joost
He recently
Gebbers.
passed away. What is the difference between FMP and SAJ? Is there a difference? What's the delineation?
It's SAJ is like a subsidiary of FMP.
Okay.
And from my understanding, at least from what I've read so far, SAJ was used for albums and like recordings where the music didn't really necessarily match up with what FMP was putting out. The stuff can be a little bit more avant-garde. It can have more obscure instruments like accordion, like what's his name? Sven Ake Johansson, who played with Schlippenbach in the early 70s. He was a piano player, but he also played the accordion. And so there's some stuff that's like more obscure instruments, more obscure sounds, things like that. Now, there are some that fit more into the kind of traditional FMP sound, like the one that you were talking about. That I have that one as well, John Takai solo. There's a Noah Howard one that's also SAJ. But a lot of them I think are just a little bit more obscure, but I also think that some of them, especially early on, SAJ started in like, if I remember correctly, like the 73, 74. A lot of them though were from like the late 70s into the early 80s, and they feature musicians that are like new to like the free jazz European scene. So they're not the guys you're not really seeing as much, like you're not going to see like Peter Brotzman on SAJ, or like you may see some of the guys, but most of them were musicians that were not necessarily part of that original kind of circle in the late 60s, early 70s. But that's what SAJ, kind of was it was a subsidiary of FMP. So
what's going on in the peanut gallery here? We got restructures. He's providing some really good information. Nicole is saying that they should be listening to us. We're listening. come on screen if you want to jump in.
yeah, Nicole seems to know a lot of information, but I don't think I've ever seen her face. So it's
Yes, Nicole.
Yeah. At least we're reading you.
Exactly, Jeffrey. It's just like Jazzland.
Yeah.
Actually, I think what he's saying is that the Riverside Jazzland divide separates certain musicians, but I actually don't think that's a good analogy, because a lot of players on both play. I actually don't know what the delineation is between the two, except I think maybe things that were not as polished of certain quality, they would just put out on Jazzland, and they save the Riverside stuff for the really great the great sessions that they were recording. But honestly, they're great. I mean, I love all the Jazzland stuff, so I don't know if that's the case. Sorry to interrupt.
You know, back in the day, Mike, Riverside and you guys know this, Riverside and Blue Note, they were small labels. They weren't.
Yeah.
You know.
Also, a lot of my early Riverside stuff that is first pressing early, they do not sound as nearly as good as like the Prestige and Blue Note stuff in terms of the pressing. I mean, I don't know if it's just like I love buying that stuff, but it rarely wows me in the same way.
Yeah.
So that stuff is prime for a reissue, because I'm sure the tapes sound really good. I mean, I hope they do, but sometimes the pressings are a little underwhelming. They don't do justice to the music like some of the other labels.
I mean, usually the Japanese Riversides, the early ones, they sound amazing compared to the American ones by far.
I have to
tell you a funny story, then I got to go.
Okay.
So Rob's doing one of his auctions and was getting carried away, and he and I have this. We kind of exchange Kenny G jokes occasionally. So he has this app on his camera that he can do an AI picture of. He tells it what he wants. So he sent me this picture of Kenny G meets the rhythm section. Ask him about it. It's hilarious. Kenny G meets the rhythm section.
I think he shared.
Rob would never do that.
You can't make it up.
He shared something like that with us.
Hey, listen, I got to
I'm
run.
afraid to say
Zach, it
something
was
about
great
Rob
to see you.
because he might be listening in.
Thanks for coming
Frederick,
out.
it's great to meet you. I'm going to check out your channel. I used to get over to Waterloo about 3 times a year. I had dear friends there that lived there for many years.
Oh, cool.
So
Yeah.
I know the area, and it's a great place. And like, it's so good what he said. He can get to these. It's like us driving to Philadelphia. Mike from Connecticut, or
Yeah.
you can go to Paris. He goes to Paris. We go to Pittsburgh. So
Yeah.
it's all good. Anyhow, gentlemen, have a good evening. Bye, everybody. I'll be around. And
Good seeing
thank
you,
you
Jack.
for what you do. You guys do a great job.
And everybody sub up to Jack's channel. There's the link there. He puts out videos, every week or two, all jazz focused.
Yeah. I would like to put some consistency in my channel if YouTube wouldn't let me wait 5 hours or 25 hours to upload a video. So yeah. But I saw this announcement from this French label today. We want and they announced a Japan release, Japanese jazz cult classic. Apparently,
Okay.
it's wait, can I post the link somewhere?
What's the label? I could try to pull it up here.
We Want Sounds.
Oh yeah, they're pretty. I have some good stuff from them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they do great stuff, I think. And it's a solo piano album.
Anyone particular here that we can point to?
Top left corner. That's the one.
Yeah.
This one here?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's check it out. Can we click in, go to link? All right, I'll drop a link for people to check it out.
Yeah. We want
A Japanese cult classic.
Yeah, well, that's easy to say, of course, if nobody knows it. But I tend to believe them. They're a good label. So I don't know if any of you guys know it, but I'd never heard of it.
Yeah, this label is good. I have some stuff. Also from France, the Trade Jazz Club. It's also a really good reissue label for Japanese.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. But I bought which one did I buy from them? I bought that Alice Clark album from them and the Frank Foster Loud Minority.
Yeah,
Which came with a nice booklet and stuff like that. So they do great reissues.
They put this out. I almost bought. I was going to buy this, and then I don't know why I didn't. But
I listened to it, and it wasn't. I remember it not being totally my thing. So I skipped it.
This drummer, I think he has some disabilities, if I'm not mistaken. Like he's
in a wheelchair right there. You can even in that photograph.
Oh yeah, okay.
I have that one, and then they did the Harold
the Freddie Hubbard record store.
Right, the Demoth right there. What else did they do?
Oh yeah, this was a record. Wasn't this Record Store Day or something?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Okay. Cool. Well, this label looks really cool. Look, they got. Oh, that's the Frank Foster you're talking about.
Yes.
And
I love that album. It has great vocals from Dee Bridgewater. I love.
They did the Jack Wilkins too. That's the one.
That one is crazy.
That was the first one I bought.
The Mystery in the Yoshi Band. That's crazy. That's a crazy record.
The Jack Wilkins next to the Don Cherry is also it's amazing.
Oh wow,
that's beautiful. Yeah, that's
very
beautiful.
Cool. So this is a what label is this? Is this the this isn't mainstream, right?
Mainstream?
I think it is.
No.
It is. Okay.
Yeah, it's Bob Shad's label.
I'm not sure, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
But they
Okay.
they also did very good reissues from Ruichi Sakamoto. More his pop stuff from the 1980s. But yeah, that's a great label. So I saw the announcement of the jazz cult classic. That's a funny
That's
announcement.
fantastic. Is that the artist? I hope that's the artist. And that's just not
Akiko Yano. Yeah, it's the artist. She was married to one of the guys from the Yellow Magic Orchestra, actually.
okay. Well, then that's an amazing cover.
She's cool.
Cool. Very cool. There's so much I want to check out. I think Felipe's inspired me to get into more, and Mike too, to get into more of the more modern stuff and Japanese stuff. And I collect so much of the early stuff, and I've gotten in such a, I don't want to say rut, but like there's a certain way that I search for records that is very limited in terms of like time period and labels. And I really kind of, I think over the next couple of weeks, I want to try to break that and see if I can kind of readjust things, because I feel like I'm so heavy on certain things, and I have, a lot of musicians that I want to really kind of build on that in a
I mean people have been sharing really great stuff on the Discord. I've been discovering really good ones too. I'm gonna post two records that I ordered yesterday.
Can I just say one thing, and you're probably gonna think I'm a freak and a weirdo, but I remember a video from you guys, and I think it was around New Year, and Mike, you said that you wanted to new artists and stuff like that, and I thought, well, maybe I remember you saying that. Sorry, I don't want to sound like a freak, like I know every line from every
Trust me, we remind him constantly of that. Okay, don't bother.
The other thing I said, I believe if it's the recent New Year video, that I want to upgrade my gear. I really want to make efforts to do that. So I did some investment early. I didn't expect to do it this early, but I did. Got it out of the way, and I think that kind of is encouraging me to. I've been listening to a lot of stuff, and a lot of the more recent stuff sounds so good on the system that it's actually like helping encourage me to get more of that stuff as opposed to that crummy sounding Riverside stuff.
So just as an example, I learned about this band here. Actually, it's a one-man band on our Discord a couple of days ago, and I ordered. This is amazing. It's a band called Organic Pulse Ensemble. They're Nordic. It's just amazing spiritual jazz. It's just terrific. The new record, just 500 copies I missed. So this is the previous one from last year. It's on RRA Gems, which is a great label. Has a lot of stuff like Muriel Grossman and other artists. So it's really, really worth checking. And Muriel, she had last year a record with the Third Man, and she signed up with JMI. So Muriel Grossman is going to be a JMI probably next year or later this year.
Actually, the guy in the store where I buy most of my records, he recommended this Organic Pulse Ensemble, and I didn't buy it.
It is amazing. So just touching on that point, yes, I think, a couple of things. As I mentioned, you have to be open to digital and CDs, otherwise you're going to miss a lot of the new stuff, probably most of it. And read. I mean, it's not YouTube reviews, because people are just going to talk about old stuff. So you gotta be reading. You gotta be checking publications, websites. Small labels, Bandcamp. Sign up for the newsletter on new artists, new in every style. You can filter by style. So I think that helps me a lot. Trying to find things here and there. And
also I'm so old school. I sometimes download stuff, and I find myself never listening to it, because I just like to play vinyl. I travel a lot to go to work. I take the train 1 hour to go to work and 1 hour to go. So I listen to quite a lot of music on the train. But still.
I think discovery is a big part of it. And even Blue Note is putting has a great roster of new artists, that we should be more, watching for and paying attention to. I think is great. And most of them are not on vinyl; they're on CDs and downloads. So,
true.
You gotta check.
Which I just wanted to say that Mike's remark about wanting to discover new artists. I'm following a lot of new jazz stuff, and I thought maybe I can add something to the jazz bums with some new jazz music.
No, yeah,
that's-
we have our daily chats, and we kind of talk about these things as well. Kind of pick
and
at each other. Trust me.
Yeah, but with those words, I'm gonna say good night because it's now 3:30 at night, so I got a little sleep to catch.
Yeah. No, thank you so much for joining, Frederick. Pleasure. Okay.
Yeah.
Take care,
Thank
man.
you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank
Nice to meet you. Bye.
Bye. And lastly, let me just talk about a couple of things. I think the elephant in the room. for
Felipe,
this
sorry,
week.
before you start, I had a question for you
Yes.
about that group. What is like the instrument kind of? What are the instruments on that?
Is that typical percussion, sax, guitars, very spiritual on the light side, Joe.
Mhm.
Very, very simple. Yeah.
Is it a large group or is
No,
it?
it's a one-man group.
Oh, you said it's one. Oh, one. Oh, you did say that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He
Oh,
records and overdubs everything.
Oh,
It's
cool.
it's
Okay.
really good. Very. I really liked it.
And you said that's on Dusty Groove, or at least
You
that's
can
one
you can
place.
find on Dusty Groove. They also have their Bandcamp.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Hey guys, did we lose Frederick?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that was cool that he
was-
joined.
Mike, he wasn't very happy with how long you were off the screen. So.
Yeah. So no, I really gotta go. I just wanted to drop a couple of things that I received this week.
Okay.
We're gonna go over, Mike, pretty quick, and then yeah,
Sure.
I'll have to jump.
Okay.
But I'll disclose that first, okay? When I heard about the one-step release, I reached out to the label and say, guys, I want to listen to this because I have special reasons for that. I want to buy it, as you know. I just want to hear it beforehand. And they were very kind. They sent me a copy. So I got here.
Ooh, let me make it big.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
I got it here.
Okay.
I've been listening, digesting it. And that's it. They changed the back cover. It's a really nice. It's put together as a book.
Wait, what is it? I'm sorry. What does the back cover look like? You said they changed it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they actually included Jobim because I think it's fair. He wrote most of the songs and arranged the whole record. It's actually his record, if you think about it. It's his record. Here's the whole technical story here. And it's great. Really good new pictures.
Welcome to Shildom.
The whole band. And
Doesn't
Both
matter.
of
Can
them
ruin the
joined
English
at the same time. Two.
What's up, man?
old- We got two.
Keep
old
going, Felipe.
folks.
going. I don't want
I'm
to.
trying. And it's good. That's it.
So
That's it.
Yeah.
let me ask.
So are you gonna do a video soon?
Yes, I will.
Of course,
Ah.
you don't have to answer this, but I'm always curious about: is the benefit because it's 45, or because something else? Because I have no interest in getting that because I'm not usually a 45 guy. If I can get a equivalent or even close 33, like the Acoustic Sounds Verve is wonderful. And unless I'm going to A/B them, I know the difference. However, I did it with the one step for the Cannibal Latterly Something Else, which I adore. But that's a favorite album of mine. Even though that's a favorite album, I just can't. It's almost like too much for me. But I guess we'll hear that when we. I don't want to. I just do any spoilers.
Yeah, it's a different take. I think Espo, he had a good review.
I saw that. Yeah.
I'm gonna have a little different approach on the way I'm.
Yeah, but he has like MAGA speakers that like they're bigger than monsters, so no one really.
Mega speakers?
Oh, Mazzy.
The
You really
Wilsons.
did
Wilson.
Yeah.
MAGA. No, no, I wasn't talking politics. No, but
you were.
gigantic. No, I wasn't.
But I mean, if you really
Gigantic
want to evaluate a record, you got to play in the headphones, right, to hear the pure thing. But this it's just a different take. What they did, the source is a little different from Chad's, the way they approach it,
I'm not driving now.
and it is a different experience. Let's put it this way.
Hey, Felipe, tag me so I can come in and help you with this. Give me a tag here.
Give him a high five. No,
The other way.
the other way.
We're in the tag
Other
team.
side.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
There you go.
All right. Boom.
It's,
Hey,
it's
Mazzy.
counterintuitive, isn't it?
Mazzy, it's not all about you and how it affects your life.
No, but there is the thing about is, when they, like, for instance, I didn't hear both. I'm sure Felipe, did you hear both when Kind of Blue came out? UHQR.
Yes.
Did you hear both the 45 and the 33?
Yes. I have both.
And I'm
Mazzy and
sure-
Rob, watch what you say. I might still be listening.
And I'm sure the 33. I mean, excuse me. I'm sure the 45 is dynamically better just because of the nature of the science. If you believe in science, which I do, but if you're not playing them back to back, is it that much better? That's my point.
Is there a TED
I
talk
think-
available for what Mazzy's trying to talk about?
No, I mean, I get your, I get, yeah,
Mike, you're the brain of the group. Am I
Oh,
not
wow.
clear?
You just called Felipe stupid.
No.
I think he's like a Stanford researcher.
Yeah, real good, Mazzy.
No, Rachel always says he's the brain.
Just keep popping
Felipe's
whatever
the
you're popping in
soul.
your mouth.
Felipe's
Hey,
the
Mazzy,
soul.
can you show us your?
Chris,
This is a bad thing.
Chris is
Show
the
us your
mu-
feet.
Chris is the
That's-
muscle. Oh, come on. You know what I'm talking about.
I just washed the dishes.
Oh.
Well, Felipe, don't reveal anything. But is the vinyl formulation different? Do they use like the Quiet
That's
X?
the same as the SRX and the and
Yeah, that's what
the
Mike
ones
said.
The
with
MoFi
MoFi,
Super Vinyl?
yes.
Is it like the MoFi
The
Super
MoFi,
Vinyl?
yeah. This is outstanding. I mean, it's perfect,
Yeah, I'm sure
perfect fletch and everything.
it better
and,
be for that.
And I'm still waiting. That label, in fact, indeed has a defect, but I haven't heard what the defect is.
What do you mean there's a defect?
Yeah, you guys comment on the picture, right? There's a defect on the spindle,
Oh,
whatever.
but that's only like a rip. I was
Yeah,
teasing.
but
They're
there-
gonna
but there-
replace it.
But there's a major defect in that label that nobody picked.
Oh, it goes from gray to black or blue. It's a printing thing, right?
No, it's a spelling error. The song has a wrong name.
Oh, fuck that shit, man.
On which one?
Can I tell you? Can I tell you something? I got the Impex Kenny Dorham Matador, and the liner notes on the back had multiple spelling errors on it.
Yeah.
So they need to hire a
that-
copywriter to review
Yeah.
to like.
So,
review-
but that is not Impex because it's a universal thing. So I reached out to AB and I pointed, you guys check that out, and she said, "Man, we went through 3 reviewers at Universal. They missed that."
That because they didn't read it. Then I mean, come on.
Probably.
Hello,
Yeah.
Grammarly.
I mean, I know I work in an industry where there needs to be multiple reviews. Like I reviewed something that was a version 5, and there was a bullet point where it had 2 words and then the rest of the sentence was gone. It's like, how is it got to version 5? It's just because people don't review it, you know?
Yeah.
But sometimes, sometimes you look at it so much, you miss certain things.
Yeah.
Roberto, in the comment, I'm going to respond to you. I kind of agree with that because these days, doctors, especially the younger doctors, they say, well, what do you think we should do? What do you think we should do? I had a doctor for 25 years and he would just like, okay, we'll cut that out. We'll just do it. He just does it. He makes a suggestion. Now they want you to help. I'm not a fucking doctor. So that's my point. So
sign a waiver first. Sign a waiver. Then we're going to talk.
Mazzy, do you have a new doctor because this guy died, or did he ask you to
I
not
moved
be
when I
part
moved
of
from
his,
San Francisco.
part of his practice
No,
anymore?
I moved from San Francisco. I had a doctor for 25 years or 20 plus years. I moved here, and my doctor's a great guy. He's in his mid 40s, early 40s, but we'll talk about something, and I'll say, hey, what about this? Well, what do you think we should do? I said, do I think I should, whatever it is. He asked me back. That's like and I've talked to even Dr. Robert. That's like new medicine today. They want the patient to be a part of it. Well, fuck you. You went to med school. I didn't.
Okay, I'm breaking this up because one, I have to jump in 16 minutes. I have a hard stop, and I think Felipe's jumping too, so the stream actually might end then. Rob, if you want to continue it, that's totally cool.
I have control, but I can probably make it go another hour or so.
I do want to see Rob's points, but I do. I was watching Steve Westman's stream today. I love Steve Westman's stream. I love everybody on it. The topic was budget audiophile, and people were showing expensive records.
Not me.
Come on, folks.
Not me.
I was
Oh,
really
I
excited to see what people were going to show, and they're like, "Oh, this one's like
$5 to
like
$20 for me.
$60." I'm like, "That's not fucking budget. What are you
I
doing?"
agree. I agree. So, how's your turntable?
What's that? Oh,
How's your new turntable?
so I'm still listening. I'm still assessing. I mean, I just want to hear how everything sounds on it. It clearly sounds very good. I will say though, I think I bought into the hype and just expected it to sound like another 50%, and it's not that significant from my previous like stylus and turntable setup. I don't want to put a percentage on it. I don't know what it is, but
Yes.
I think I'm really happy with it.
What did you have before? What did you have before?
I had a vintage Kenwood KD 500 with a Stanton Triple E cartridge with it had a modern like tip on it that I got from, I forget the name of the.
You got an exact 2 on your new Riga, right?
I got the exact 2. I got the exact
50 hours.
the exact Mark II. So it's like
70 hours.
And I got to give it 70 hours. But I will say, I'm still breaking it in. Like when I first put it on, I did the weight, and for whatever reason, I didn't like pull out my scale. And then the next day I pulled out the scale, and I was a little off, so it wasn't tracking as heavy as it ought to be. So I'm still like calibrating it to be perfect and still getting used to everything about it. So it's really too early, but I will say, sound quality wise, like I put an SRX on of Blueswalk, Lou Donaldson Blueswalk. That like sounded like the best thing I've ever heard in my life. It sounded that good. But then I put on like a Music Matters 45, and I don't know if it's revealing more. And it like I listened to Curtis Fuller's The Opener, which I used to consider one of my best sounding records. And I like compared to SRX, like I noticed a significant gap. And then so it's like the great records still sound really good or great. And the records that like, I feel like I'm noticing more differences between pressings now. So I'm kind of, at least that's my initial kind of thinking of it. And records that sound excellent are that SRX. Some of the early Prestige stuff I have still sound amazing. All the new stuff I have, like all the new pressings that are even digital, like sound fantastic. But like, yeah, some things like I put on and I was just like, oh, this, like I have some Japanese pressings that are like Toshiba that I feel like I'm noticing maybe aren't as good as I previously thought. So it's kind of like a mixed bag, honestly. Where like maybe previously like everything was more even almost. And now it's like I'm noticing like there's significant differences between pressings.
Yeah.
So it's ruining my collection basically.
You got a card now. Welcome.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's the deal, Mike. You self-admittedly are self-neurotic. So I mean, I'm almost saying you should just relax and listen to the music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that new there's a new Impex Heifetz. It's the Lark. That thing sounded
well. Jewish records will always sound better on a new cart.
And yeah, some of the classical stuff is really sounding.
I'm just here to make Mike
pretty
cringe.
standard. No,
Mike, you should try moving your speakers.
No, but you know what? Seriously, 2 things happen. Your card will open up, but also you'll get used to the new sound. So it's a combination of you and the gear.
Yeah,
you know, I'm going through that too. I just hit 60 hours on my cart, and it's warming up. I got a few issues where I need to have guys to come back to align it.
Now, what is that? So I thought that the Riga was pretty much like self-aligning. Is that not like?
Well, you still got to kind of.
It depends, but he's not using a Riga cart.
Okay,
you're talking about me.
Yeah, right.
Oh, so it doesn't have that third screw.
No. Oh. Only the Riga carts have 3 screws.
I see.
So when you use a non-Riga cart, you have to use a spacer.
You have to align
where the arm is. You know, here. Yeah. Here's your stylus. Right here, I have to have a 2 millimeter spacer to raise this up in order to cart. Now,
but it also
technically I could do it, but I trusted my guy.
So
it also depends. You trust your guy.
Mazzy, but with your San Francisco doctor, will he remove your spacer.
No,
You
but
know, I had a conversation with someone, one of the person I share an office with today, about that. Yeah, and what about the my guy and my girl thing?
well, you're like I'm waiting to meet my man.
Well, hold on,
In his hand.
Felipe, what were you saying about the cartridge?
So Riga has two different cartridge heights. So if you're using the moving magnets like you're using now, they are 14 millimeters high. The moving coils, they are 70, way higher, and they usually match the size of the orthophone cart, for example.
Okay.
So then you got the spacers. Yeah, those spacers, don't buy the Riga ones because you have to disassemble the tone arm. There's a different brand, right, Mazzy, that you put two, so it's much easier to install. You just unscrew a little bit.
Right.
So you have to be careful with that. And if your cart is shorter, then you have to put some extra mats to elevate your
Yeah, you have to raise it like that. But I think there's a few things I could go and play and futz with it. But my guy lives near me. I know my guy ate that. The turntable guru that I know, who lives 10 minutes from me, will come back and he'll adjust it. And there's a couple things I think he needs to work on the weight. And maybe we'll play with I have an Aria phono stage, and sometimes like it tells you should use like 80 to 90, whatever it is, and I'm at but then they say with this ML, not ML, I'm on the blue, what do you might call it? The
Hana blue, yeah.
I want to say the unagi. I think it's sushi, right?
No, they also have umami. The umami is really good.
Well, I have an umami blue now. That's my new one.
Okay.
I think there's an umami red, but I'm not sure.
That's the higher end one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But to be honest with you, I didn't hear I was expecting. Well, first of all, I changed the table at the same time from the RP to the P, and I thought, oh my god, it's going to be like you said, like this. And I thought, oh fuck, man, my old one sounded warmer and cooler, but I had 4,000, hours on it. They say, at 25 you should change it, retip it. 4,000 is still sounded friggin' great, and I have it as a backup card. My ML, it sounds amazing. But I thought it would be and it was good, but not better initially. Now it's warmed up more, and I'm used to it more. I mean, it's dead quiet. I love it, But a few little adjustments. But you're right. You can do too much, But I think what you got the
P6.
Well, I think the P6 with that cart.
I decided to go with that cart. I mean,
it's a great cart.
It was
that cart
cheaper.
is great. Yeah,
it was cheaper, but I mean, I could have went with the moving coil if I wanted.
$700 cart.
It just
exactly right, Mazzy. I mean,
it's not cheap. It's a great. I think that's the best combination. If I was buying a turntable, I would get a Riga 6 with that cart. I would get exactly what you got.
I think it's the best deal on the market, to be honest, because the 6 with that card is so close to the 8, and it's a much better price. So I think it's a great deal, and it's a $700 cartridge. It's the same price of a Orthophone Black.
And I will say the thing is, like, my setup now, I feel like aesthetically is and physically, obviously, like, there's a tactility to all of this, and like going up and using that tone arm. And it's just like I just love how it looks. Like, it makes me like it almost like brings me in even more. I know this is like all superficial, but I freaking love how my setup looks now. I just love it. So it just, whatever effect that has.
My only
like
complaint
matters
on
a little
part. The only complaint is superficial. That stupid yellow color.
I thought so too, but actually, I think it actually, when you actually have it set up in my room, which I have chartreuse walls, so it's like it actually aesthetically just it's fine, honestly.
I just want you all to know that your conversation has led the peanut gallery to talk about eating endangered species.
Okay. So anyway, it has been a bit of an education in all of this. And I was joking around earlier, but I want to reiterate it. I feel like every component piece is the quote, like, punches above its weight class. I have the Riga P6, the iFi Phono Zen. I have the Cambridge 100 AXR amp, and then the KEF LS50 Metas. And all of those have been reviewed that for the price, these like punch above its weight class. I feel like that's my entire system now, and everything's new, and I just am totally loving everything about it. But honestly, I thought this Sonics would have been like otherworldly based on what my expectations were, and it's not like that. It's probably I'm not going to put a percentage against it, but it's significantly different, but it's not as big as I initially expected before I listened to everything.
Yeah, it is different. And please say thank you to the Rev. He had a big role in that. Okay.
Who did? The Rev?
Yeah.
Why does he have that, or what's his deal?
Because we
I think everybody.
Did you work for Music Direct or something?
We pushed Mike into the right direction.
Did you buy from Music Direct?
I did, and also another thing.
Don't they own MoFi?
Yes, just to get. Well, hold on, Mazzy, relax.
I'm kidding.
I'm gonna give props to Music Direct because the turntable came in. I set up, everything was fine. I noticed that there was a bit of scuffing on the dust cover, so I thought it was just from the packaging because it literally matches where like the packaging strips were.
Right.
I tried to wipe it off. It didn't come off. It's scuffed. So I wasn't even gonna mention it, but then I think yesterday I was like, let me just take pictures. I'll send it to them. I did that right in the morning. By the afternoon, they gave me shipping for a new dust cover. So
you have to send the other one back?
They didn't say anything like that. So I might have a second dust cover just as a backup.
Now, let me have you a personal question.
Does it fit in your microwave?
Now I see Ken is watching here. He's more tech savvy or equipment savvy than I am, but I am one. My big thing is you always take your dust cover off. You never play your turntable with your dust cover on. That's how I
generally am taking it off.
It is a resonance box, pretty much.
It's a resonant, yeah. So always I take it off and I put it somewhere else.
Yeah,
I know. I didn't touch the cart. I don't know if this is directed at me. I don't know if this is directed at me or Mazzy, but the Riga cart has a third screw that it's like pre-calibrated. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some adjustments you can make, but generally the Riga also is like basically like out of the box, ready to go. All you need to do is set up the counterweight and make sure that the counterweight for mine 1.75 grams.
Yours comes with a counterweight. You're not talking about fishing line.
Do you have a Humming Guru?
Oh yeah, and a Humming Guru.
Do you have one?
Yeah.
Well, you don't need it now because Roy Gandy says you don't need to clean your records. The cart, the stylus will clean your record. That's his.
Yeah, well, that's I would. First of all, now that I have a new turntable, no unclean record is ever touching my stuff.
Exactly right, Mazzy. And the more they cost, the better they're going to clean the record, right?
Mike's the feeling.
Guys, I really do have to. I do have to run. I wanted to show some records. I'm not going to be able to, so I'm going to save it to next time. I have a hard stop, so I got to jump. I know.
But before you leave, I scored a bunch of audiophile classical records. I'm not going to show all of them, but I want to. Well,
save it. We're going to do the Classical Bums live stream on Thursday.
No, I'm not going to show all of them.
He has to leave. Shut up, Rob.
Yeah, shut up, Rob. Also, Mazzy, we're doing the Classical Bums live stream next Thursday. Mark, I think Mark's going to try to come. I'm not sure if he's totally confirmed. Michael's coming, and then Greg from Flowering Spikes is coming. Mark Ward from Tracking.
Michael Muller? No.
Michael Johnson from Poetry on Plastic.
Oh, Michael, right.
So anyway, so I know you guys came last time, so
I'll
come
just
hang
watch.
out again.
I don't need to come up.
If we break a second hour, get your ass up there.
Okay, well, we'll see how it goes.
And you can't help yourself, man.
Yeah, that's exactly. I give you 2 hours minimum.
But I have real records to show this.
Oh, sorry, Max.
I wanted to show.
All right, show one record. I have to go in a minute.
Bye.
Okay,
so
very cool.
Yeah, I called Michael when I found all these records. So 2 of them he already picked from the lap, but this one is very interesting because I want to show it. Oh, hello, Felipe. So, does anyone know this label? Cavalier. So this record is not very expensive. Came out in '75. Doug Sachs mastered it, and it is a true one-step. Back in 1975, they made one-steps. That's what this record is. And even on the back, they talk about it, and you can go to the Discogs listing that the way this was made, it was made as a one-step. I have to think in 1975, this is probably a $15 or dollar or less record, maybe a $10 record. So like all the here's the description right here. Single step process for using the limited edition.
Mhm.
So they only would make 1,000 with each stamper, and then they get rid of it. So and RTI did this. So it's kind of funny how modern one stuff, and they were doing it back then. Here's a label.
Yeah.
So I'll listen to see how it sounds. So that's all.
Yeah.
Very
Oh,
interesting.
Rob, clavier is German for piano.
Do you guys know this record?
Yeah.
You do?
No.
Okay, it's Audio Quest. This was in the Disney collection. Audio Quest, which means it's
Joe Harley's label.
Joe Harley. Yeah. It's produced by Joe Harley, 1994. It's Kei Akagi, Rick Margitza, Charles Fambro, and Willie Jones III. I want to listen to it, but this is going to be in the auction.
Oh,
What?
I was going to say put it aside. I was going to tell you to put it aside for me.
I'll put it aside for you. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Done.
You've been ordered.
All set. All set.
We'll look on Discogs,
I like-
medium, whatever's less than Discogs, whatever, yeah.
All right. Cool.
I can't give it to you because it's Dizzy, but yeah.
No, I understand. Not a problem.
Yeah, I might listen to it just to kind of check it out.
Nice. Sure.
Yeah, they're all guys I like.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
See, I didn't come here to sell my shit.
No. I have a nice stack of jazz records if anyone wants to see. I'll start off with one I have already, but I got this
Not
from my.
Pete Jolly. Why am I getting so teased for this?
You
Pete
don't have
Jolly
to respond to it, Mazzy.
I like to respond to the Peanut Gallery.
Is it jolly good?
This is a great record. In fact, I can't even tell if Enja licensed this from Inner City or Inner City vice versa. Because
let me see
the other way
back
around.
again. That looks like
but
an Inner
here's
City.
the funny- Hold on, Mazzy. Let me show the record. Then you can ask.
You just asked.
No,
We're like an old married
so,
couple.
Because this is not like typical Inner City. It
But that's the Inner
actually
City
is
logo.
more- let me finish saying this, and then you can criticize it. This seems like it's more Enja. It has the Enja logo, which Inner City or issues of Enja records don't have. The cover is very Enja.
Yeah, even the cover. Yeah,
even the cover. So that's why I'm asking the question: has anyone ever gotten reverse like Enja license stuff from Inner City? Because all the U.S. pressings of Enjas back in the day, like this. This just seems like it's very
Inja wouldn't put Inner City logo on the label and the cover
unless they licensed it from Inner City
and just took copies and okay.
So this, even the way it's pressed in the label is very Enja-ish. So, but this is a great record. Very good.
All that Tommy Flanagan on the Enja, I really like.
This came out in 1980, right? And it even has like an Enja indentation like that in the thing. So now, here's a record last minute recommended. Freaking fantastic. If you got that,
amazing record, Rob.
Yeah, if you got the new Mal Waldron Reminiscent Suite, this is like part 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's a double album. The first album is almost exactly the same player.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the second one is him solo. But this is killer. So, and it's Inner City. Licensed from England. What do people
Irv Kratka, that's Irv Kratka's label, who started Music Minus One. Remember Music Minus One records?
Yeah.
I have a regular one. I picked up this digital, probably go in an auction of Underground. And it's
that's a really cool one.
Yeah, I like that.
Some of my favorites.
The In Walk Bud with John Hendricks is really good.
I'm gonna show that, Roberta. This is freaking fantastic. This is
let me see the cover.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's Abe Lincoln's album.
Yeah.
You know what? Hey, everyone! Tomorrow in the Dizzy auction, every record will win for $1. I promise you that will happen.
Oh, you love me, Rob.
Yeah.
So this is a 2018 reissue, and it sounds great, but it is just a killer record. I really don't have much with Dave Liebman on it, and but they all play just killer together, and it sounds great. So highly recommend this one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, next one. This is I have a bunch of these, the Great Jazz Trio, because it's usually Hank Jones, Tony Williams, and Ron Carter. But this is the one time Buster Williams came in. And these are incredibly cheap, but killer records.
Yeah, they are. They were very good.
Yeah.
East West. There they are all together. All right. So, and that look, this came out around the same time. This is not the same as that Tommy Flanagan record. All right. And then this is killer. I streamed it and was worried it wouldn't sound that great. This is just fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. About 2 months ago, I recommend that Tom Harrell Steeplechase record with Joanne Brokeen on it. This is just insanely good.
Yeah, that's the Beatle haircut period. I love it.
Yeah. It's all related to your knowledge of Beatles.
And that's a killer group. I mean,
it really is very good. And I mean, Ken, if you're still around, I listened to your video where you talked about the record store day, Yusef Lateef, and he was saying how Kenny Barron, it was like Kenny Barron's show. This is like Kenny Barron's show.
Nice.
Okay. All right. This is awesome. I found an OJC of this.
Oh, I have a Japanese of this one, Rob. It's amazing. One of my favorite monks.
This OJC sounds excellent. Even like I'm hearing the conversations people are having pretty accurately.
Is that an OJC? Is that an OJC?
It's a live OJC live record, and I had picked up an Ahmad Abdul Malik album. He only did 4 or 5 albums, but this is fantastic. And Johnny Griffin is killing it on here.
Yeah, this record is terrific.
Yeah. You know
So-
what? Yeah.
So just before I go, because I think it's a good book. I just finished this book today. I think it's a great correlation to what you're showing.
Yeah.
It's called Jazz Modernism.
Is that Louis Armstrong? That's Louis Armstrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Jazz Modernism from Ellington and Armstrong to Matisse and Joyce.
Wow.
So it shows kind of bridges, modern painting from mid-century to these guys here, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's a great study in both in art and in music, how they correlate, they reflect each other. And I think this monk cover just kind of reminded me of this, and I wanted to show this book. Really, you can get it for really cheap on Amazon.
Yeah, it's a great book.
It's a great book. I got the reference after reading Stanley Crouch. So Alfred Apple Jr. Great book.
It has that's a great. That's photograph. It's a really
Yeah, it's an amazing this kind of stuff here.
Wow.
Can be that, yeah.
I like that. So do you have a
Very
dental
cool.
emergency tonight? That's why you have to leave?
No.
Stick around,
Just
Felipe.
that-
It might knock Mazzy's teeth out.
Some like Friday night bridge work?
No, not today.
All right.
Thank God.
I found an OG of this. I had a 74 pressing with the neon label, so upgraded it, I suppose. Probably no different sound. This is like crazy stuff, right? This is very interesting here, and I didn't realize. So this album, does anyone know the significance of this? It's on that kind of cheapy Everest label.
Well,
This is yeah.
what period is that, Rob? Late, early?
This is basically a reissue of the Vogue.
Okay.
Okay.
So I didn't know that until I got home. But since I have that mosaic box, I'll probably auction this off. It's very clean, but this is basically the Vogue.
Okay.
I have no jazz on. I have like some folk stuff on Vogue.
Yeah.
Nice.
Boy, June, that was recorded 2 months before I was born. I'm setting Rob up for some retort.
Yeah.
You know what? It was recorded 14 years and 1 month.
It's okay.
But it's not a competition.
No, it's not.
I found two of these Wildflower records.
I
And
don't
they're
know
out. They're
what are
great.
those?
This was done by Sam Rivers and his wife.
Oh.
These recordings, they're 5 volumes. Mike, Jazz Bum Mike, has all of them, but I just ran into 2 really nice ones. And
How many are there? More than 5?
no, they're 5.
Oh.
So it's a different groupings: Oliver Lake group, David Murray, Jimmy Lyons, Julius Hemphill, and Hamet Boulette, and Sonny Murray and Roscoe Mitchell are on like all of them. They're different groups. So I haven't even listened to these yet. So
Nice.
you should go grab them, Louis. If you did see them, maybe like if you don't like them, which you probably will, I'd be interested in the first 4. Right. I had sold this, but I picked it back up. I don't think I gave this a fair shake.
What a bad cover.
Yeah,
How is that record? I've never heard it.
But the group is kick ass, man.
Is that late 80s? Is that in the early 80s?
It's 78.
Oh wow.
Now how far was that from the year you were born, Mazzy?
You know what album I keep going? Obviously, I like the first Return to Forever albums, the very first with Flora.
This is nothing like Return.
No, I know, but I really one album I keep going back to, and I always pull out when I'm in the mood for Chick Corea, like before he gets too kinetic is Spanish Heart, that double album on Polydor. That is such a good record. Cherry. Okay,
That's like a $1 bin record, though.
it might. I don't care what it doesn't matter how much it costs. It just sounds.
Well, you
good.
should have shown it on Steve Westman's stream today.
I showed cheap records today.
That's what that is. Cheap, good records. I found an OG of this. I have a reissue, like an 80 reissue. So, any record. What do you think about that, Mazzy? Does that give you ideas?
I posed for that's my foot.
Really?
I found another.
Yeah,
copy.
This is kind of like. Look at three of us left. This is like the Donner Party.
I know. It's making me want to keep going.
Or that Chilean soccer team.
So people, I already have a copy of this. This is one so far. I have tons of these Heirs to Freedom, Avant-garde, free jazz reissues. This is a freaking awesome record. If you can find it, I think Jazz might want this, but this is killer if you can get it. And he has a great. I don't know a lot of the guys on here. I do know that the trumpet player Carol.
Yeah,
he's on a lot of stuff. I love with him.
And Joseph Bowie.
But this is more kind of spiritual, jazzy. It's so good. This is excellent.
There you go.
I know, Matt. Okay, I'm going to show a record. Mazzy's going to say something about it.
Well, this is called A Conversation. Now,
yeah, he is.
I have that record. They did 2 records. They did a Bill Evans.
They did a Bill Evans one.
Yeah. Well, that's because Joan Genrino is my son's godmother, who was a cellist in Kronos. So that's Joni right there. There she is. That's my son's aunt, Auntie Joni. Yeah, she unfortunately 15 years ago she had to leave Kronos because she has MS, which is unfortunate. But she's such a sweetheart.
Okay, this was the find of the week. It's not in the best shape, but it actually plays incredibly well. So I don't know if people know this record, Sir Edward, The Power of Feeling. And I do not know the story behind this record. I want to find out. Why? So basically, Sir Edward is an alias for Harold Vick. I don't know why he shadowed. I don't know he wanted to make this, and maybe he was under contract to someone else. He is not listed on here. In fact, everyone playing on it, he is not shown. But this is a label. This record goes for a lot of money. This was a label started by Mazzy's favorite Beatles drummer, Bernard Purdy, and they only put 5 records out.
Bernard Purdy, God. What a wanker.
So they only put 5 records out, and this
Great drummer, but
this
I
was
was in the Beatles.
so this was reissued in 2022, and it's already sold out. Very desirable, but this original one on Discogs right now, there's like 4 copies starting at a couple $100.
Can you bring up Nicole's comment, please? It's true. It's true. No,
Look,
I mean,
I've tried with this internet. Every
well,
internet I get where
it's not like you live in Kansas. No offense to people living in Kansas. You live in Santa Monica. What's the
No,
going
you know,
on?
but it is. I mean, it's location dependent. I mean,
well, wait, Mazzy, do you know how the internet works? When you live in an area with a lot of people in one area, they slow down the internet.
do. I live, yeah, but I've lived in urban areas. I mean, you need to. I
promise you, I've had 3 different internet companies here.
Well, what do you have their fastest speed? Do you have their fastest speed?
Yes, it's all their fastest speed.
Oh, they always get you at the fastest speed.
Yeah, I know.
I'm telling you right now, unless I got a directional satellite hookup.
You might be faster going in the
everyone,
go around the corner and sit in the Starbucks.
It's 7:20 at night. Everyone gets home and gets on the internet.
We're all watching porn in Santa Monica, so
yeah, that's what slows down the internet. Everyone watching porn.
But they're only watching porn for 6 seconds, so it shouldn't matter, right?
I have full the router is all full operational. Okay. Here's the cool thing. I can end this. I have control of ending the stream.
Of course.
Oh man.
Okay, don't be too rushed, Rob. Okay.
I didn't bring it up, but yeah. Nicole was right. I mean, no, we're wanting you to be better. You stutter. We hear your audio. Your picture pieces up.
But Mazzy,
are you getting all this?
Yes.
Let me try changing the settings here on
Felipe. What are you saying?
My worst international connection ever in my life was the years I lived in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Oh.
Am I wrong or right, Felipe, with my thing? Everyone around me has the internet.
Yeah.
Okay, how is it now? I changed the settings in StreamYard.
Sounds
only
good.
really seems to happen with StreamYard.
Sounds like sounds good. Sounds good to me.
I have one thing, T-Mobile, and then I have another internet provider. The T-Mobile sucks, and what is it? Optimum here is works fine, no problems with that. Because I was thinking of switching, and I got the T-Mobile to try, and it's terrible. It's terrible.
I just have, what do I have? I have Xfinity,
Every single provider here sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, maybe it's your computer.
You know what I find? I think it's a combination of the StreamYard and my internet.
StreamYard does. I will agree. StreamYard does add a layer that kind of gets wonky sometimes. So. We're not here to tease you. Well, some people are, but I'm not. It's just
hold on, Patty. It's not 2010. It's not 2010.
That's why I like AT&T, man. They got me a
don't get Google Fiber. Get Trojan ribbed.
Oh gosh.
Have you tried AOL? I heard it's great.
Yeah, I heard with AOL, you can actually throw something at someone on a stream with you.
Oh man.
Yeah, Louis, get up here and just help us. Come on.
They're gonna be reissuing the AOL CDs on vinyl. It's gonna be a limited pressing.
I think Rob actually next to his records has 6,000 of those CDs.
Don't you have the one-step order?
So, what's coming out that you're interested in? Is there anything new, Rob, that you're interested in jazz-wise? We're here, or Mike?
I did. I don't think people talk about how you discover you can build up credit with them when they're buying from them. So I used credit to pick up the Jackie McLean Action and the new Booker Irvin Tone Poet.
Yeah.
So they came out today, but I'll get them. I ordered them yesterday.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they came super quick this time. I got my last Tone Poets on the sale.
From who? From who?
You Discover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you order that Sonny Rollins the
box? Yes,
I did too.
I'm going to order it. I haven't.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Does the code that's floating around for you Discover work on that?
No,
I don't know. I get my universal connection, so I don't know.
it's not for pre-sale.
You know, I kind of was brushing off a lot of record store day shit.
There's
But
great stuff there.
Ken's review of the Yusef Lateef was pretty through the roof. So
yeah,
I just wish that all these people please put up audio of these records so we can hear them.
You know what I'm looking forward? I know there's a lot of Zev stuff, but one that I'm looking forward to is the Sister Rosetta Tharpe, which is obviously not jazz, but I just
he's putting that out.
I love her. I'm hopefully that is something that's good sounding. That's like the beginning of rock and roll or R&B. And you know what? It just shipped for me. Okay, this is something again. It's not jazz.
Your case of ripped condoms.
I did order the now I just blanked on her name. The MoFi Ruth Brown album.
Yeah, it looks like a good one for sure.
Yeah, that again, that's like beginning of rock and roll, R&B. It's so good, man, and perfect timing. You know, Women's Month and everything, but it's just I don't have that record. I have that stuff on CD, so I decided to go for the MoFi. You know, Atlantic Records.
I mean, they do a great job, right, man?
It just shipped this week. So if you don't know Ruth Brown, and if you like R&B,
are they trying a new tact, MoFi?
It's the center. Wait,
it seems like the last two
dropping records now, right?
Last two records they did was they just dropped them without any fanfare.
Right? Nicole, you're talking on Market Street there, SF Center. Well, that was, that was where the Emporium department store was. Right there. Wow. You know, it's really sad. This is changing the subject. Macy's is closing their San Francisco store next year.
Oh, really?
And it's like that is the center of Union Square. That's and other, But the good news is, the Academy of Art, not the Academy of Art, the Art Institute in San Francisco, above where Tower Records used to be. It's a beautiful building, a great art college. Annie Leibovitz went there. Steve Jobs' wife bought it. So, hopefully some good will come out of stuff like that.
Which wife?
Was last wife before he died. I forgot her name. Mrs. Jobs. I don't know. What's her first? I forgot her name. I forgot her name.
No, I forgot
Mrs. Jobs. You got it 100%.
But
I didn't know that, Nicole. I did not know that.
Yeah. I think they're still living in the house in Palo Alto. Same one. Right?
I love that shot. Remember that old shot of him when he was starting Apple, when he's sitting on the floor, no furniture. There's only like a record player, a component stereo. And he had no furniture, but he had a record player, a stereo setup. That's there's a real deal. Whatever you think of Steve Jobs, played records. When you move into a house, when I moved here, I brought in my car. I drove before my furniture arrived. I had a mattress delivered, and I had my stereo and a few records, and I plugged that in first. That was the first
hold
thing.
on, Mazzy. I want to have umbrage with whatever you think of Steve Jobs. Most of the people I hate collect vinyl. Have you met me and seen me on the internet?
Wow, the Gong Show. Is that your internet?
My wine glass at the
I
side of
thought
the computer.
Noble was actually doing okay. I thought they revamped and were doing okay.
Nah, they're still closing stores.
Yeah. Hey, they own a store 5 times the size of what it needs to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not making money per square foot.
Wow. Okay.
But you know, I mean, I realize it's bad. We went through a bad thing, but these companies were in trouble before the pandemic.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Macy's is closing 120 stores, but they still have like 250 others.
Yeah,
you know, that is like the worst shopping experience if you go into a Macy's.
Yeah,
because it's like you're a rat in a bad maze trying to get through, because the whole setup is where they don't want you to walk straight through.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you walk 10 feet, there's a display in front of you, then you go this way.
You're talking like IKEA. Yeah.
And like, I can't. No, stop. That just pisses me off. It doesn't make me stop and look at something.
Everybody wants everything for cheap. They order online, and that's why their research, good or bad, is going for expensive stuff. And it's like the Nordstroms and beyond Nordstroms and service.
Right. Well, that's it. Service. See, I hate to say it. Once I got to a certain age, I was all about service.
Yeah, that's why Nordstroms.
And if you can't give me service, then I'm going to the internet. I'm sorry. If I'm paying a premium price, you need to give me service, and it shouldn't be difficult. If I have a problem and I bring it back to you, it shouldn't be a problem.
No, you're right.
It's easier to find an associate even at Home Depot, I think.
How about that? Yeah.
Well, I went to Home Depot and asked for underwear, and they didn't know what
Yeah, I mean, that's why a good record store, is valuable. And there's a lot of record stores out there, and a lot of them, I get pissy because a lot of record store people, indies, I'd say half of them don't give a shit. And I don't want to shop there because they're lazy. And when people complain, and record stores owners about they're not doing well, obviously there are exceptions, and they complain about record store day, and they're up to do all, you have to think outside of the box, and you have to work it. It's not easy work. I would never open a record store.
Well, I'll let you know that it's all dictated by the owners.
Right.
But typically the independent stores, or just stores in general, have pretty much the same hierarchy. If that's my experience.
Like your guy, your guy down in LA. What's the guy's name? The main guy?
Record Safari.
He does it. I haven't been there, but I understand he does it well. It's like Easy Street here in Seattle. They fucking do it well. They do all the right components of live shows. They happen to have a breakfast lunch place that supplements it too. But they have great stuff in.
Yeah, but the record prices are too high, Mazzy.
Not for here. They sell. I mean, they're not for Seattle.
No, I mean, look.
For you as a flipper, they're too high.
No. For me,
I don't mean that as a
buyer. For me as a buyer, as someone, I don't listen, Mazzy. I don't walk into a record store going, "What can I flip from here?"
No, but
I go in there looking for records that I want to find.
But they do. They do the best in Seattle. They
I understand that, but
they sell stock. They have. If I go in other stores, you might have 2 copies of a new release, and if you don't get there before noon on Friday, they're out of it. Like a major new release, maybe they have 4 copies.
Well, you don't know what you don't know, Mazzy. I mean, if all the stores in Seattle are pricing the records too high, my attitude towards record stores is if I owned a record store, no one should walk out of there with 1 record. No one.
No, what I'm talking about is a new releases. Now I'm talking about a place like I like to say Silver Platters. They'll have 2 to 5 copies tops of a major new release, like when Bowie's new album came out. And by the time, if you didn't get there in the first hour or two on a Friday release date, they sold out. You go to Easy Street, they'll have 25 copies of it, you know, and they'll sell all 25 that weekend, but it won't be in the first 2 hours or something. I realize, you know, not everyone can spend a lot of money as a retailer, but they turn over a lot of records. Easy Street turns over a lot of records.
But you know what? To buy like old OGs here in Florida is really good actually, because you have a lot of people moving from California, moving from New York. They're retiring. Those collections go on sale here to the local stores,
Right.
and they go for Florida prices, not Seattle or California prices.
Oh, I'm sure. No, Seattle's going to be more, but if they were in Manhattan, you know, they'd be more too.
Yeah.
No, I get that. I get that.
That's how
You
the
go,
become available.
Chicago's going to be more. Certain cities are just going to be more, you know.
Well, when I went in it, I didn't hate the place. I bought records from them, but I believe you have the wall records, right? They're priced what they're priced, but pricing the bin records 30% more than what they go for. And I don't feel it's an issue if I'm looking for something to go buy it on Discogs if the stores charge you way more than that. That's all I'm saying. I want to, and by doing that, I feel I'm more likely to walk out with 5 records.
Yeah, I don't think they're exorbitant there. I mean, at certain titles, like they'll have a Bowie Low album for $25 to $30.
Yeah,
Bowie Low clean, and that doesn't seem outrageous to me.
But also the good shops, they search Discogs, of course, they base. But for locals, I mean, you have to kind of know how to tone these prices to your local. Otherwise, you're not going to sell them.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one store that I go to, and this is what the guy does. And he told me, I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm circulating the bins. I'm going in there and repricing records that haven't sold and pricing them cheaper." I don't see record stores do that.
Easy Street does that. If something's been sitting there for a while, they'll mark it down. Yeah. I mean, it's like, you know, like in new stock, the blue and red albums now that were $75 a piece are $50 now at Easy Street, you know, $25 less, or maybe $55, so $20 less.
Mazzy, what's the closest record store to Easy Street?
Well, the closest one to me is Silver Platters.
No, I don't care about you.
Easy
Street has that West Seattle area all to themselves.
Yeah, but 10 minutes, 7 minutes away from that store, 7 minutes away is Silver Platters, you know. But yeah, they're the only West Seattle record store. Yeah, but 7 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. I understand. I don't fight record stores on what they charge. I just don't buy the record. But I could see that they could turn over a lot more records, you know?
Well, they're always packed, and their business keeps increasing. And so I don't work there. I don't know. I mean, I know the guy, the owner, and he's been in business for 30 plus years. You know, he's used to have 2 stores. He has 1 now. They know they seem to know their audience. I mean, you know, it's a huge market there. It's a huge music market in Seattle. And they get a lot. It's interesting that they do get a lot of tourists too. I found when I've gone in there on a Saturday, people are buying T-shirts and you know, all candles and slip mats and books and, you know, Pearl Jam shit and all. You know, they condense their CDs big time. They expanded their vinyl. It's packed. They're getting a lot of collections in. They go out getting collections. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're bursting to the seams, the bins there. Yeah. Am I talking Easy Street? I am talking Easy Street. So I don't, you know, is it the best store? It depends what you want, you know, like I go to sometimes for new releases to Silver Platter because it's close to me, but their used records are crap. they're great for CDs, but the used records of Silver Platter aren't that good. You know, there's some other record stores that are across town, but Easy Street and Silver Platters are close to me physically. I like down now. You want to talk about pricey records? You go down to Tacoma where Harry lives, or he's near there. He's in Puyallup. It's a great store. Now they're like 20%, 25% more than Easy Street. Well, Georgetown's good, but Georgetown is quirky. I mean, it doesn't have a lot. It's well curated. I mean, Georgetown is weird. They don't have a lot of stuff. But certain things are really expensive and certain things are dead dirt cheap, Jim. Yeah, I don't think
how was your grandma's stuffed cabbage, Roger?
Yeah, I don't think it's the best. In fact, I never think to go there to buy records. I mean, they don't sell new records really, or the new releases, I should say. It just depends. They also have a store in Mexico City, which is ironic, Georgetown Records.
But look, here's my rationale with Discogs pricing. If they price, let's say 10 or 15% more than Discogs, then I'll buy it because that's the shipping and sales tax too.
Right.
So
I like to support the locals too.
Well, no, I mean, that's all I do. That's all I mostly do.
Well, you're good at that. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, the University District is weird. I never get over there. There's like a couple of places there. I haven't been to what's the place that moved? There's a place that moved that was in Finney Ridge, and they moved to another spot. I haven't been to their new place. But if you go across to Sonic Boom, they're not any cheaper. Sonic Boom's not cheaper. Those of you who know Seattle. Hex Education, yeah. But they have a small. I don't go there. They're up in near Lake City, right? Lake City. I like that store, but it's very, a very manicured, I guess, collection. Well, I think we're peeding out.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go in a bit. I want to listen to some records.
I can't believe y'all were talking Akiko Yano, and I wasn't here when they talked about Akiko. Who talked about? I missed that.
I missed that too.
Are you sure, Michael? Michael turned me on. I bought 2 Akiko Yano records because of Michael. One in Portland and one, actually, another time in Portland. So my entire Akiko Yano collection are from Portland.
Well, I wonder what time he has to turn down his music in the enlisted quarters.
Well, he's in an apartment.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's an apartment. But it's an apartment like a complex.
No, he lives in a
military.
private.
I don't think it's all military, is it?
Oh, that's good. That's even better. Yeah.
No, I think he's got tweakers. He's got assholes like the rest of us.
Hey, Michael, can you make Mazzy drop and give you 20, please?
20 minutes.
I can play my music as loud as I fucking want to. Thank goodness.
Yeah, I wish I could.
Yeah, you don't.
I have never gotten any complaints about.
Are you in a condo or a flat or apartment?
Yeah, it's an apartment. But actually, the only thing I got off the elevator, I don't know, maybe like 2 months ago, and the people that live across the hall, it was a guy and his wife, and he said to me, "She really likes your music."
Oh, that's like passive aggressive. He wanted to be nice. He didn't want to be an asshole and say, "God."
But but the wife was in the elevator. And she was like, "Yeah." She said,
and he probably was saying, "Can't you play some Pablo Cruz?" No, I did.
Hold on. People are praising me. I have to address it. Which Mile Waldron? The Reminiscent Suite or the Moods?
Cesar, Mazzy, welcome to join the autograph.
I actually like the Moods better.
I did an autograph video like about 2 years ago. I guess I could update it. I did one because there was something going around then or something, and I did one.
Rob or Mike, do you have a copy of the Mal Waldron Live, the Seagull at the Village Vanguard?
That's a hard one to find, man.
That's
I don't have that one. No, I don't have that
listen
one.
to that one at the store. That's my go-to.
That's great. Yeah.
Hey, Felipe,
well,
are you giving someone gas now?
Hmm?
Are you putting someone under
Hey,
right now?
Mazzy, hold your face closer to the camera. I'll give you some gas.
I can ship some FedEx overnight. Should be fine by tomorrow.
No, I don't.
So wait, Felipe, do you have the vinyl or you just listen to it at the store?
My store owner had a copy, not for sale. Oh, it was his
Yeah,
own
but
copy.
the one thing I'm consider getting is that CD box that has all the hard to get Mal Waldron.
That's really good, Rob, because that stuff is hard to find, expensive. They're mostly going to be in Europe, like $30 shipping. You know,
But is that company that reissued the REM? Can they have access to those titles or no? Those are which label is those hard to get ones?
Is it Black Santa Soul Note? Which one?
Hey, Felipe.
I think it's Soul Note, right?
Yeah, I would think. I think Mal Waldron would be on the Soul Note.
Yeah, they're not reissued, right?
No.
Yeah, it's weird. They license some titles to but yeah, it's not a consistent reissue.
Yeah, and you know, I remember being at a Jazz Record Center. There are so many of those white boxes CD collection, Rob, from different artists as well. Similar to the Mal Waldron. There's a ton of those.
Yeah, but how much are they charging for them?
I mean, not the Mal Waldron ones. They were not so bad. I think like 30, 40, 50. I think it depends on how many CDs and the artist. Was not bad.
Yeah.
That one Mal Waldron has like 8 albums in it.
Yeah, there's 2 boxes, right? Mal Waldron. There's a smaller one and a bigger one.
There's one with 4.
Yeah.
And then there's one with like
Mark Lastman, give him a link because this is petering out. We need some new blood, Mark. So get up here.
He probably doesn't want to come out. I heard he doesn't want to be seen on camera with
Hey, Felipe, how thick? Not that size matters, but how thick is the Impex box?
It's about an inch or so.
So it's about
less than that. It's thicker than a MoFi single disc.
Okay.
Yeah, a little thicker.
Okay.
I don't have the Craft one, so I cannot compare to the Craft.
Hey, I just noticed something. Okay, this might be a sign because Craft isn't selling those whatever small batches.
Yeah,
I got an email.
I got an email. Case. I really like the record.
Yeah, I understand, but I got an email from Chad, and he's selling the hot buttered soul.
Yeah.
So I think they might be changing their tune and allowing.
Well, and you know what, Rob? I don't know if you got. I got an email this morning from Run Out of Groove about the Rhino high fidelity.
Oh yeah, I did too. Yeah.
Isn't Run Out the Groove sort of partially owned by Rhino?
I think so because the link goes directly to Rhino.
Mm-hmm.
And just for everybody edification, if you're interested in the television album, there are under 200 left out of the 5,000. So down to the last 200. So
the current one that Candid just put out is excellent. And watch this. Mazzy, is that album excellent? You bought it.
Which one?
Jimmy Jufrey, was it Spiders and
yeah. With the kind of the purplish.
Yeah. Patty, go get that current record. But all Jimmy Jufrey, I think, is great. Yeah, but that particular one is awesome sounding. It's just so good.
I just want to mention one thing because I'm going to place an order for it. But the New Orleans Jazz Fest poster, it's up for sale. I'll put a link for it, but it's actually a really beautiful poster. And I don't buy them. I don't collect them all, but periodically I'll buy one, and I'm gonna order this year's one, and I'll place the link down below.
Can't find it right now. Yeah, that Jimmy Jufrey is fantastic.
It is. It's a steal. I think it's like $22 on Amazon right now.
I confess, I didn't even know about him until Joe Harley when I told me about him.
Yeah. Mazzy never know a Jew he could get for free.
Yeah, most of his stuff is good. I found that his records are very, I mean, they're cut very low. You had to really crank up the volume on his records.
Who's
Yeah, but
that?
The Jimmy
But that
Jeffrey ones,
can't be
especially those
on
Atlantic
Atlantic.
ones.
Here, I'll pull up and share a link with it. On Can someone say something?
I'm trying to think. What did I pick up something else?
Okay, it's currently $22 on Amazon right now. I'll share the link. There you go.
Yeah.
Go for broke people.
Yeah. Yes, Roberto. That site Art for Now has Jazz Fest posters from previous years. Not all years. Some years are sold out. And of course, if you're talking a previous year, that means the price is going to be, higher.
Listen, Nicole, I don't yell at you, so I'm firmly saying to you, I said that already. Okay, what's this?
I love
Speaking of
that.
Harley Rex, what do you guys think of the Benny Wallace? Mike loves Benny Wallace, and I have a lot of them. And I have two. I have that one. What is it called? Mike Soulville, the Joe Harley produced.
Oh, it's on the Groovesville label. What's the title of it? Yeah, that's really great.
Yeah, I have that.
But yeah, the Ninja stuff is good. Actually, recently, and I haven't listened to it yet. I got a Benny Wallace Chick Corea's in the group that I need to listen to. And the Benny Wallace Monk is really good.
Isn't that an ECM record?
Ninja. I think it's Ninja. Yeah, I think it's Ninja.
Sure? I have the Benny Wallace with Chick Corea.
Yeah,
it's a blue. It's like a blue, dark blue.
Yeah,
cover.
yeah.
No, I have that.
And I haven't listened to it yet. And then,
do you have this, Rob?
The one,
I do not have that.
Do you want it?
Yes.
I'll send it to you. You can have it. I don't like
where
it.
did you? Someone sent it to you?
I bought it. It didn't.
I'm surprised you don't like that because Mazzy.
I like Sonny Chirac a lot.
No, his wife sounds just like Yoko Ono. Am I wrong?
I'm wrong for you, so.
Am I wrong though?
Yeah, but you're always wrong.
Thank you.
This has been out a while, but this is great.
Yeah,
but I have the twofer. I have the twofer of it. I'm fine with that.
And I was thinking maybe I'll just get the CD of that. I don't know if I really need.
But Mike, if I come across that twofer for cheap, I'll get you a copy of that.
All right.
For me.
All right.
Okay. So I'm going to point out how you rub me wrong, people. This is an example for all of you.
Who rubbed you wrong?
So, everybody, but this particular example is from Jim Record Collector News. He says, I was listening to Jimmy Jufrey, spelled it wrong, by the way, with Marty Patch. Spelled Marty.
Marth.
Octet, and they decided to put on Lou Reed and the Blue Mask 5-minute German disco version on instead.
Jim is funny. Jim, that's funny.
You know Jim. What happened to Jim? Because he used to come up occasionally on things. I haven't seen his face in a year.
Well, he's let himself go, first of all, and he's probably been smoking.
Oh man,
that's funny.
I don't know. I think circulation has probably gone down since he started jumping in on all the vinyl community people writing shit ass articles.
Master.
What's Master by Bernie Grubman?
No, Bernice, not Bernie.
Oh,
I know he's got a different life and he's in another world.
You rubbed me wrong.
But I wish the Rev would come up here and hang with us. But I have a feeling he's better as a solo artist. I think the interaction might be overwhelming for him. I'm being his therapist now because I think he works best as a solo act. Like Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan is amazing, but sometimes he's a little reserved and he seems kooky.
Oh,
And I bet you
actually,
Rev's a little like the Bob Dylan of the VC.
yeah.
Am I right, Rev?
Yeah. He's in Fort Lauderdale here today and tomorrow, Mazzy.
Pardon me?
Bob Dylan is playing here Fort Lauderdale today
Oh,
and
is he?
tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I've seen him enough. I still love his records, but
I've seen him once and I've seen him enough.
yeah, I've seen him about 15, 16 times.
Yeah. I just like the fact that the ushers, they take people with the cell phones, they kick them out of the room. I think so cool.
But Chris Rock does that.
I love it.
No, because when I went to I went to see who was it? Oh, that Kevin Hart, Chris Rock show at Madison Square Garden, and then the surprise thing was that Dave Chappelle came out, and he was the opening guy, and they collected everybody's phones.
You know, when we do test screenings, or at least the last 10 years, we would collect phones.
I love
people have to bring them.
who is it? I love the Cat Power Dylan. I prefer the acoustic set, the first disc, a lot. And I love the Budokan. I absolutely love that. I know people hate that record or hate that show, but I got that big Japanese box set. I fucking love it. But it's not for everybody. I get that.
There's a brand new record store opening up in LA tomorrow. I'm going to try and go there before the auction.
Where? What area?
In Inglewood. Inglewood is changing crazy because the new Intuit Center is opening there. Steve Ballmer's, that's where the Clippers are going to play. But it's
is that where the Forum was? Is the Forum gone?
No, the Forum is there, but Madison Square Garden bought the Forum and converted it into a concert-only venue. They actually sued Steve Ballmer to not build this new arena, but it's over $1 billion, state-of-the-art. I think Billy Joel's going to be playing there, and it's supposed to open up in August.
I can't wait for that.
Or soon. Well, look. Would you agree, Mazzy, that Billy Joel's a big attraction?
Oh, absolutely. I don't argue that.
He should sell it out.
Yeah, I don't mind Billy Joel. He's just easy for me to mock, but all the power to him.
Yeah.
He worked his ass.
Hey, Choice, I would refresh your browser. That's a joke from about 20 minutes ago.
I would say,
yeah. Hey, Roberto, no, I am not going to Jazz Fest this year. Jazz Fest, it takes a lot for me to gear up for that. No.
Yeah.
That place is supposed to be amazing. So.
Yeah.
You mean concert sell? Who knows? He's a high-selling artist. He's been around for 50 years.
But I do like Billy Joe from Green Day way better.
Oh,
his name's Billy Joe, not Joel. Billy Joe Armstrong.
And I like that. What do they throw off the Tallahatchie Bridge?
You.
No, I think she had an abortion.
That's Billy Joel McAllister.
She had a baby, and they threw the baby over.
All these people don't get their Billy Joe straight.
I'm trying to find.
Okay, here's the deal, Roberto. Why are you so obsessed with getting people together? They just disappoint you.
No.
Plus, everyone come out here for the Headhunters reunion in August.
That's going to happen.
Go to.
Hey, May, Austin.
Yeah, everyone come down to the record show.
The end of October, early November in New York. This time in Manhattan, Chelsea.
All right, I'm good for 5 more minutes, Felipe.
Okay.
What about you?
Let's
Yeah.
do it. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Rob.
And Roberto, that time in New Orleans is like, oh gosh, it's oppressive.
Hey, wait.
We
Sorry.
used to run our starting around that period of time in Jazz Fest.
The humidity
in our apartment, we would run our air conditioners like basically 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Because
can't
the
even breathe
humidity is
outside in New Orleans during the
freaking
summer.
ridiculous.
Hey, look, Mazzy, here's something for you to look forward to. Vaginal will be there in Austin.
Who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that.
Vaginal. Listen,
I
Vaginal made
shouldn't
an
say
appearance on
fucking
Rachel this
vaginal
morning.
in the same sentence.
Vaginal made an appearance on Rachel this morning. It's a legit account.
Are you sure that can't be real?
No, it's
That's
not a
that's
person
gotta
who
be
hates
like
the wax.
That's like Stunty or Pumping Vagina or one of those channels.
Pumping vagina.
That
Or
person
whatever they're
made an
called.
appearance this morning on Rachel, so it's a legit account.
Yeah.
Hey, now, hold on. Vaginal, if you don't mind coming up and tell us how you clean your records. With Summer's Eve?
Maybe he has a
Do you
rig
use
in it.
Summer's Eve?
Yeah.
That is only 8 o'clock here on the West.
No, let's do it.
It seems like it's late when I'm around you guys.
No, it's
Hey,
fine.
Mazzy, why are you dressed like Air Force chaplain? What's up with that? Is that a black
What? It's
sweater?
cold. I put a sweater on over his shirt.
Okay.
You know, the problem with the vinyl community is not many people wear collars. Have you noticed that? All the fucking record collectors wear fucking
what's
t-shirts.
this?
Well, you're wearing one tonight, but it's all
Yeah,
about
what
the latest t-shirt. There's a handful that wear collars. You know.
Well, I was teaching.
Says the guy that sells t-shirts.
No.
Exactly. I do. But
Okay,
actually,
we should, yeah,
go
we
to my
should.
merch store and buy a "It's the Music Stupid" T-shirt.
So while we have Mazzy's up here, I want to point out something with Jim. I've determined that Jim has 8 good stories, and he tells them all the time.
You know, we were sitting around. We were sitting around by SeaTac at the 13 Coins having prime rib and martinis, and we heard Jim tell that story 3 times.
Yeah, Jim, it's bad when Mazzy tells you to tell the same story.
That was fun. That was a good place. 13 Coins there. I like that place.
No, I want to go back there.
Yeah, we'll go back. You know, even if the stereo show is not so great, it's fun hanging out, right? Yeah. Fucking guys. I'm a sky pilot. I'm a chaplain here.
Oh man.
Hey, wait, I'll tell you something. I'm a firm believer that I've never really found, except Tattoo You, a great sounding Rolling Stones record. And I love the Rolling Stones.
There's one.
Jim picked up Beggar's Banquet today. Go to Jim's channel and support him. He played a video of playing it. It sounded great.
Which version?
Jim, which version of Beggar's Banquet?
Was it a UK?
Well,
UK sounds good.
It wasn't the.
Yeah,
I think the best sounding Rolling Stones album.
Stripped is really good. Stripped is really good.
Black and Blue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's Stripped is really good too from '96.
But that's a CD.
To me,
no, they put out as records afterwards.
Oh, did they? Okay, I don't have that.
Yeah. There's like a big box, man. So check it out. It's really nice.
Just what I need. More Rolling Stones. Yeah.
Oh, here's what. Oh no. Well, that's not the whole album, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Oh, I have that. I have the Miss You 12-inch. It's an import, and the B side is Faraway Eyes, I think, right?
Yeah.
That's really good. That is really good. I agree.
This is the one Jim picked up today. He picked up a UK Decca.
Oh yeah, I have a UK.
Yeah.
I have the UK white. At the late 70s or early 80s, they did like white vinyl, not gatefold. It's okay.
But Michael, isn't that the German only copy that's very hard to get?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I have the MoFi sticky fingers. I'm good with that. It's fine by me.
I got, by the way, in the auction tomorrow, I do have a bunch of Rolling Stones picture sleeve 45s. If you're into 45s, I'll do a
No,
batch.
I'm looking for good sounding Rolling Stone records. Other than Tattoo You.
Well, they're
I've
not. Their records aren't. I like
I
Beggar's
understand.
Banquet.
Well, no, they sound better on CD.
I think Satanic Majesty's Request actually sounds good. If you have a good copy of that, that's a
Yeah.
good sounding record.
You gave me a copy that sounded like it.
I mean,
Well,
Tattoo
that's why I
You
gave you
is
that
good.
copy.
Tattoo You is good.
Yeah, Tattoo You is good.
No, I actually in my auction I have a mint copy of Tattoo You, RL, all good. If anyone's interested. Yeah, I think. And
Tattoo's
but
good. It's not as good sounding as Black and Blue.
No, I've given them a fair shake. I'll stay with my CD.
And this is my opinion. So it's my opinion. Remember, it's only an opinion.
Well, your opinion's wrong, Mazzy, most of the time.
Fair enough.
So Mazzy, in the auction, what you have a lot of jazz, or
Not
do you
really.
have
There's some jazz. Nothing really super rare.
Yeah, Rob is shaking his head. It's like
no, there's not. Yeah.
All right, good. Then I got my copy.
Yeah, we'll work it out. Yeah, whatever.
All right.
Yeah. You can maybe, as a pro bono, if I get thrown in jail, you can be my legal defense.
Oh yeah.
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 Well, you know what, Mazzy? If someone calls you your kid and beats you, he can help you. Other than that, you're stuck in jail.
Yeah, if you're not having a paternity, there's no paternity suits against you.
Can you get me a part on the next season on SVU to be the perp in one episode?
All you have to do is show up in New York. How many how many Law and Orders are there?
I am a Law and Order freak. I love freaking. And when it's on SVU, it's just like having it on the background if you don't pay attention. And it's the 25th year of anniversary of SVU. 25 years that show's been on. And so they had what do they call it? Like twins episodes, basically actors who were a perp in one episode. Then later they were maybe the DA or they were attorney.
Yeah.
Same actors, but two different characters, I loved it. It was just fun to see and then famous actors that were on for a minute, like Sybil Shepherd was on, and what's the one who opens her crotch in the Michael Douglas movie?
Sharon Stone.
Sharon Stone. I love Law.
Oh, if I don't know if you remember the original Law and Order with Michael Moriarty played.
Oh yeah. I've been since the beginning. I'm all
So he, one this is, and it's actually it's part of a famous article that ran in the New Yorker about this writer Stanley Crouch. But one night I go in this club, Bradley's, and because Gary Bartz is playing, and freaking Michael Moriarty, he's there. And and he was like really into it. He was like talking to everybody, talking to all the musicians, and it's crazy. You see the Law and Order guy there, and part of the reason he was there, one of the bartenders was actually an extra in Law and Order. So I guess he told him that he worked at this club called Bradley's, which was a historic place in New York City. But he was hanging out in the club and just like talking to everybody.
And then Michael Moriarty got uppity and quit the show early, which is really too bad. To me, the soul of the show on the original was Jerry Orbach. I just love Jerry Orbach. It's so great that he was Lumiere. There's a singer. He was a Broadway singer, and he doesn't look. He always looks like the mafioso guy, and he's a Broadway singer.
Well, he was that in the FX movie, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I missed him. Yeah, but I like Law and Orders are just like eating popcorn and watching.
Oh, that's great. Everybody in the original one. I mean, it's sort of if you go back and listen and you watch the original ones, they seem sort of like stiff now. They don't.
Well, the original show's back on again with a whole different crew, but
yeah, but the one
and Sam
the
Shepard.
one version, my favorite version was the Vincent D'Onofrio one, where he's sort of like Columbo.
He was a cerebral one, definitely.
Yeah. That version was the best.
Criminal Intent, right? Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, they all have their ups and downs.
They're all.
And they're just like I record them on the DVR every Thursday night. So I have 3 now I can watch in a row tonight. There's literally 3. There's the original Law and Order was brought back, and it's got 3 different actors and stuff. And actually, Sam Waterston was on last week. It was he came back again as the DA, and his farewell was last week. So he's now off for good. You got SVU, and then they brought back what's her name's partner, the old SVU partner. For
Maloney.
Yeah.
They should come up with a Law and Order RSD.
It's more of
it's just about violent crimes.
Yeah. This has nothing to do with jazz music, although there are, jazz.
And then the whole the Dick Wolf, the guy that created the whole Law and Order franchise, now on another network has the FBI franchise.
And he has Chicago Fire, Chicago. What's the police Chicago guy?
Yeah. No,
Dick Wolf, man. I'd like to have his bank account. Yeah,
I know, because he's got the Chicago Fires, the PD, and medical.
I've never seen the medical one. Yeah, I like the crossovers when they do like an arc with 3 of them, and they
that's really good.
It's a guilty pleasure. It's not like rocket science, but there's a certain rhythm to it that works. For network TV, literally, there's a Law and Order every 5 minutes or any time of the day. There's a Law and Order playing somewhere in the world.
It's just like the Girl from Ipanema, right? It's always playing somewhere in the world.
Yeah, Impact should do a Law and Order box set.
And when we lived in Harlem, I hated Law and Order because they were always filming up there. Because you had like so many freaking Law and Orders. It could be SVU, it could be the regular Law and Order, it could be some, and it's like everything. So I couldn't. Parking was like next to impossible. You'd have to get up and move your car because it's going to get towed because they're going to be filming a Law and Order episode.
There was a BBC one for
that was good.
It only lasted like one season, I think.
Yeah, they only did like 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna wind it up, guys, because I want to go.
Yeah.
As much as I'm here for Mike complaining about Law and Order.
Felipe, I got this like situation. No.
Have a shot of Clorox for 7 days before going to bed, and then it should get better.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. It hurts. I like cold water right here. I got, but it hasn't. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, just
my wax. See you tomorrow, wax.
See ya. Take care of everyone. Bye bye.
Bye bye.